You are ready to start. Hit the record pause button. Hit the red rec pause button. Beep. All right, beep beep.
We're recording here now too, just so
All right.
you know. So I just turned it on here and all systems look like they're go.
Okay. All right, so now all I gotta do is get a pencil and an agenda. And we'll be ready to rock and roll here.
No cologne tonight? What's mine? Huh? Did you forget your perfume? What happened? I don't know.
Okay, that is that. And then I need an agenda, and I think, and I have a sharp pencil. Jeez.
Your special day is coming up pretty soon.
Yes,
All right.
it is.
All righty.
Well, good luck to you.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, we have a 3-page agenda. We do. We do. I think it's, you know, what happens when you start to articulate all the list, that sort of expands it. All right, well, I think we're ready to go here.
Yes, we're on. Go right
All right,
ahead.
here we go. All right, it is about 7:01. I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Brookfield Inland Wetlands Commission. Today is Monday, the 9th of May, 2022. My name is Sharon Fox. I act as chair of the commission. Also with me to my left is Mr. Michael Newsett, who is the commission vice chairman. Also further down the table, Mr. Dave Frankel, who is a regular member. So there are 3 of us. All 3 of us will be voting members this evening. And down to the far right is Ms. Rochelle Hadza, who is the Wetlands Enforcement Officer. So with that, we can start with Wetlands Enforcement.
Thank you, Chair Fox. I don't have any report tonight.
Okay.
Nothing,
The good news is we didn't have any new things.
no tragedies.
Yeah,
correct.
we don't have any tragedies. We have no leaks at the school project to talk about, which is
Correct.
great.
Correct. Just, but we will discuss the report. If you want to do it now, it's up to you because it's a little confusing.
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna go right to that. So we, site inspection reports, again, we're waiting the report from the school project. They said we should be looking for that in the summer, which is right around the corner.
Correct.
And then, yeah, let's take a look at 731 Federal Road. So it looks like Cynthia was out there on the 4th. So let's see if we have this here, that we can all look at.
Do we all have one copy? I just don't know how the administrative assistants prepare this stuff.
Yeah, we have,
You have,
Oh, yeah, it's right in the back.
it's right in the front.
It's right in
But
the,
it was like on top of mine.
yeah, right, it's right here. Yep, I saw it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so here we go. Let's see, so it's still our all erosion control devices in place and functioning according to erosion control. It's a continuing no. See comments. Remove the sediment that has overtopped the sediment barriers and is spreading out. Oh, no.
so, may I?
Yes,
say-
please.
So it seems to me, Madam Chair, Sharon, that, they're beginning work again there. And I don't know if that's causing some additional erosion or what, but certainly, I think as we get more rain and the site gets disturbed even more, this is going to be, a serious concern.
It's a serious concern right now. It is, we've had this for, since, I guess probably beginning in October.
Right.
There's not a lot of work going on there. One day, late last week, I think it was Friday, there was a large backhoe kind of thing moving some dirt from one pile into a truck. But it was up in the front, not
Right.
back. I have not seen any work going on anywhere near the silt fence. So it just appears, to my mind, that the silt fence that's there, or the silt sock, whatever it is, just isn't strong enough to handle what's going on there.
Yeah,
Well, as you may know, Mr. Lucera, Tony Lucera, did instruct Verity Construction to install, and as you can see in the photo, in fact, an additional layer of protection. However,
it didn't work.
clearly, it's not sufficient. So that's problematic. Now, with regard to where the work is being done, predominantly roadside, away from the Still River, I think what that attests to is actually the power of erosion and sedimentation. And the reason this commission is charged with trying to, along with the zoning commission, trying to manage erosion and sedimentation. Because it is a problem, and it does travel quite far. So it may be the case that whatever's going on there is causing additional erosion. That I don't know. I have not been out to the site. Unfortunately, I was not available. I often get notifications from
Right.
Ms. Rabinowitz when she's on her way, and I was unable to attend that. But I would, I'd like to go out there and see exactly what's going on. I don't know if can you speak to this at all, Ms. McCauley? Is it?
I cannot, because I haven't gone out to see
Right.
it, and I actually just saw the report tonight
Right.
myself.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
So-
I walked past there on Sunday, and I remember the applicant saying that he was disappointed that the silt fence, the silt socks were not handling the situation. And I remember a conversation about they were gonna install a silt fence.
Right.
Well, I walked by there on Sunday and Saturday, there was no silt fence.
Well, what is this in this photograph then? It
Well-
looks to me like they did put silt fence.
Well, maybe
up.
I'm not seeing it
Okay.
anyway, so that's a possibility. I mean,
Maybe
you're
it's-
right.
Maybe it's completely filled, so
Well,
we
I don't
can't
know
find
about
the silt
that,
fence
but,
anymore.
Mhm.
All right, well, I can, tell the commission, I'll go out there tomorrow. Tuesday is my best day for these kinds of site visits. I'll personally go out there tomorrow and see if I can assess the situation, and also then talk to Cynthia.
Well, I think we have to do more than that. I mean,
Well, what-
I
so what
very
do you
much, I'm
suggest?
thinking about, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I said, I very much respect, the applicant, and I very much respect, their intent. But the reality is, we've been at this for 6 times, and it isn't working, unfortunately. And this is, we've talked about it, it's sort of come to the top, and we've all been worried that it's going to overflow. This is definite, that I recall, this is the first time it's actually overflowed. So, I mean, I don't really want to start talking about notice of violation, but I'm thinking that. I'm thinking of issuing a notice of violation. I said, and I want to be respectful, because I know the applicant is interested in it, and I'm very aware, yes, they are planning to do activity on the site, but I don't know necessarily that activity on the site is going to remediate this problem.
So what do you suggest, maybe a formal letter,
Well,
certified mail?
it was certified mail, I said, I am thinking about a notice of violation
Right.
with some kind of an engineering report that will come up with the answer here.
Okay, but
you know.
between now and 2 weeks, so the question is, if you'd want me to send out a notice of,
I'm gonna ask my
violation,
colleagues
yeah.
here, because the answer is yes,
My
you know.
thought-
So at this time?
That's I
Yeah.
said so let me just talk to my colleagues, and then I'm interested in your opinion. I said, I respect them, I know they're not trying to create a problem, but it's continuing to happen, They tried to fix it, it didn't get fixed. We just had a minor rain. This was not a 6-inch rain. This was not a 2-inch rain. This was an 1.25-inch rain. And now we've got a breach. So I'm thinking, I said, we'll issue a notice of violation and be looking for, and but no fines. I don't think we need fines at this juncture. Issue a notice of violation and ask for a permanent remediation plan. Someone has to know how to fix this, for their continuing construction sequence. And I'm gonna ask for that plan with an engineer's signature on it for our next meeting. I mean, like I said, it's been close, it's been overtopping, it's been close, but this is the first time it's gone over. So that's the support I'm asking for, is to issue a notice of violation.
There was something else. You said you walked by the site, you did not see.
I didn't see it, but it's fair to say
Yeah,
Dave,
yeah,
I
'cause
can't
he has-
go way down
You're-
into the
Yeah,
property.
or could he have added it after you walk by?
She's got pictures of it
Yeah,
here. I mean, I'm not, I think this is much deeper into the
No,
lot
'cause
than I
she-
can see from the road.
She took these pictures a few days before she walked.
oh,
by.
okay.
So the
Okay.
silt fence is there, and I remember the applicant saying he was on
Can
the,
I,
set-
can
yeah.
I ask you to clarify something? You're saying this is the first time it's overtopped.
That I
the-
can remember.
But I believe that every time we've seen this report, it's overtopped. I remember seeing pictures where it had run over. It may not have gone all the way into the wetlands, but it certainly overtopped.
My memory is one thing,
Okay,
but I certainly, accept what you're saying, which just makes it worse.
But nevertheless, you would agree that we've
Yeah.
gotten this report every 2 weeks for
Right.
months now.
Right,
My question is, if in this letter, or whether it's a violation, whatever we do, it seems to me what we should do is make sure they don't do any work there until this issue is solved.
I'm for that. I'm for that.
Yeah,
I
that
think
they
that's a
need
good
to
idea.
stop.
I'll go
Stop
for that,
work.
Yeah, they can't move things around.
They can't move things
start
around.
digging until this issue is solved.
I think that's a very good idea.
Rochelle, is there a specific way to do that?
Yeah, we can just do a stop work as a part of the notice of violation.
Well, yeah, so, we can certainly issue a stop work order,
Right.
but they may not even be working there, we're not even sure about that, are we?
Doesn't matter, I don't know, I don't
But we don't want
I
them
don't
to
know.
start
We don't want
until-
them to start
Yeah,
doing
so in
things.
fact, their testimony in their site plan says, all erosion and sedimentation controls to be checked weekly and/or after a rain event and repairs made if necessary. Prior to the time of any forecasted rainfall, all erosion sedimentation controls to be checked and necessary repairs made. All silt is to be removed from erosion controls as necessary and/or prior to any forecasted rainfall. So, that's their own testimony in their site plan, so certainly,
But it's not working.
It's not working,
that is not the case.
right.
So, I'm happy to, at the, commission's direction, issue both a stop work order and a
Notice of violation, and again, with a request, like I said, they can have a show cause if they want, that's up to them. But I'm gonna request in time for our next meeting, which is
23rd?
the 23rd, that we have a remediation plan for the duration of their the modification, right? With an engineer's, on an engineer's signature, and that will take us through the end of construction here.
So when you say you want an engineer's signature, are you saying attesting to the new and improved?
The new and now will work. Right.
Okay. So, I mean, it seems to me that it's not that the silt fences and silt socks and, the controls are not working, because they're working to an extent. It seems to me that the problem is that they're not, once the sediment builds up, they're not removing it properly.
That whatever is happening, my problem is it overtopped.
Right.
And it got into the wetlands, and no one wanted that to happen.
Right.
And we've been, Michael says that, his recollection's slightly different than mine.
Well, we
I
certainly
certainly
got-
respect that. But
We certainly got no's in these two positions before.
constantly.
Oh, yes, I
Yeah.
have the report from 2 weeks ago, it's a
Right.
carbon copy. Do you think maybe what they propose to do isn't viable from a wetlands perspective?
I don't know. Hope not.
Well.
No, but that's sometimes something's approved, on paper, and then you
Well,
actually go
yeah,
and do
sure,
it,
you
it
find
doesn't
out-
work out.
If you think that, if what you're saying is there a possibility for surprises once you get into the field? Sure,
Yeah.
yeah, that is
Maybe
always a
this isn't
possibility.
viable, what they're talking about.
I may not be, Dave, and that is one of the reasons that we asked for the inspection reports,
Mhm.
so that we could stay on top of this. It's the motivation for setting up the inspection process, so that we can have, real-time data when things happen. I said, and to provide insight as to whether, again, the plan that everybody thought would work and the modification that they thought would work did not. So, okay.
So, cease and desist and,
A notice of
Cease and repair, I
violation.
would say, really.
Yes, yeah, correct, and, cease and repair.
And, notice of violation.
Is there a
So,
need
yeah,
to-
now, I guess the real question is too, I mean, we leave the dirt in the wetlands?
Yeah, that was my next question.
Thank
Is
you.
there a need to
Should we leave
clean
the-
up?
the
clean-
sediment?
In the wetlands, my thinking would
Well,
be,
no, you have to remove it.
I would think so,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
repair.
yeah, gotta repair it,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
And I do this with, with great reluctance, but
No, I
my
think you're quite
patience
right
has
at
worn
this
out
point.
on
Yeah, no,
this.
at this point.
I do too. I want that supermarket.
Yeah, it would be great, I said, and nobody, I said, including the applicant, wanted this to happen.
Of course not.
Nobody
And-
wanted
and
it to
we
happen, and it's
don't-
not for lack
I-
of trying, but we have to come up to the next step and try and correct it. I mean, this is not, to your point, Dave, this is not, these things have happened before across the planet, and they've been able to deal with it, so.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yes, it's plenty.
Plenty. All right, thank you. All right, anything for Rochelle?
Anything from you?
Yeah, I was just asking my colleagues, anything from you guys?
So wait, I think we'd like to bring up Mr.,
Newstats, Michaels,
Yes,
right?
Michael,
No,
thank you.
No,
just so you wanted me to go, just repeat for the record, you wanted me to go out to, it was Merwin.
Yes,
right?
35 Merwin Brook.
35 Merwin.
Yeah.
And it's the
And,
clear cutting there that may be within 75 feet.
feet of
wetlands.
well, yeah,
Correct.
or 100 feet of the stream.
Oh, right,
There is a stream back.
Mhm.
okay.
That is noisy. There is a stream back there, I
Okay.
know.
Very good, so I'll make sure I go out there
Okay.
tomorrow as well, thank you.
And
Yeah.
we will, I think, Rochelle, I mean, I think we can accommodate your request. I said, in the past, if we saw things, we would just bring them up at the meeting. And, no,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and that, it worked for us.
By
But
the
we
way-
respect your situation,
On the
and we
other
can
hand-
definitely do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the other, hand, if the minutes are such that they can be, they should be recorded in the minutes, that's enough.
By the way, that address I gave you of 35 is.
You said it might be 32, it'll be
Well,
obvious.
33 is the house next to it. My assumption
Yeah.
is the next lot is 35.
Well, I'll probably see, down
But
the
you'll find
streets.
it. It's very obvious as you're driving by.
Very
Weren't they before us at some point? It seems to me, maybe it was a different address, but Merwin Brook and,
Well, there was another application in Merwin Brook to do some work, but that's
that
a few miles away.
Okay. That was a,
Were
a
you
year or
involved in
two
the
ago, I
20?
think.
Yeah, it's 20.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, which was sort of next door to,
Eldred.
they have a nice
And off of
pickleball,
Chickadee Lane.
they have a nice pickleball
Right.
court there.
Okay, but so from now on, for us, right, if we see something, that we would like to have, Rochelle take a look
Yeah.
at for us, we're gonna use the website,
Okay.
and we can do that, the moment you come back from your
Well, or-
observation.
Yeah, or even
happen
if
to
you
do it.
just at least email me and copy.
No,
Christine.
I think the website's
Oh,
fine.
you mean like a complaint?
Yeah,
form?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
In
I
other
think
words, we
it's-
should do a complaint
Yeah.
from us?
Well, I think so. I think
Yeah.
in some ways it's the most standard
Yeah.
practice, so that A, none of these fall through the cracks, but B, that everyone's treated fairly. In other words, we require the townspeople to fill this form out. I mean, it's just kind of a matter of record keeping that would certainly help keep me on track, but also just that we know, it's just a record.
yeah, no, I think we can
Yeah. I
accommodate
mean, I
that.
brought it up as a question.
I know, so
Yeah.
I know, and it's perfectly valid. I'll tell you what, I'll go out there
Yeah.
and I'll fill out the complaint
You-
form.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I
No,
don't mind. It's just,
No, it's
I'd
fine.
like an expert eye.
Yes,
to look at it.
And I regret that I was remiss that I didn't get out
That's
there
okay.
last time, so thank you for
Okay.
reminding me on that.
Okay, but we'll still, from now on, starting
Sure.
this moment on, we'll use the complaint form.
It's just
Whether
an
that's
aid.
totally fine, totally fine.
Aide-mémoire, as they say en français in France, yes.
Sounds, we're all okay with that.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so that takes care of that. All right, old business. Okay, we've got 701 Federal Road.
I was gonna call him, that was okay.
Yeah, you can call, she's gonna call, the applicant is unable to attend, there's a personal matter, so
Oh,
she's gonna,
right.
we're gonna, we can make an accommodation here for that personal matter, so she's gonna keep him on the phone, so. Yeah. Now, we've got a new map, right?
Yeah, I'll lay it out on the table for you.
There we go.
All right, so while you're making your call, I'm just gonna refresh everybody's memory. We talked about a couple of things. Okay, so we were gonna talk about, like I said, the GIS discrepancy. I know you're gonna talk about that. We talked about, development impact, confirmation of the intermittent water course, which I think we confirmed is over here. Volumes of cutting and filling, natural diversity database report, identification of the number of trees in this area. And also, you guys were gonna take a look at, we looked at the parking and could we, delete some spaces and move, you guys were gonna take a look at that for us. So, and then the native plants, which I know you're gonna work on. Okay, all right, those are just refresh my memory, okay.
Yeah, so at the last, what you just went over, so
Okay.
this is the site plan.
All right, so you've removed,
We moved that whole row of parking that was
Okay.
here.
oh,
By doing that, I was able to move the stormwater basin, so we had that basin all in here.
okay,
So I pulled it all up, so we have a nice buffer now in here from that wetland edge.
yeah, so we've got, this is, what, this
Minimum
is,
is here is like 50 feet.
50
and then
feet.
it, widens up, all the
Okay.
way. The
And
only
you-
disturbance is just the discharge out of the basin.
so you've got,
So basically the pond fills up, and so the pond holds water.
yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
And it starts to fill up and it discharges out of the pipe, slowly. It's an 8-inch orifice.
So it's just an overflow? It's just
Well-
that this is gonna where is this, 274? It's like 2 feet above the bottom, right?
Yeah. So the pipe is actually, so the outlet is at 273, so there'll always be like a foot of standing water in there. So, which helps remove pollutants, garbage.
Is there any possibility, Michelle, maybe draw this back and not just have riprap just right into the river? Maybe slow that down a little bit? Is there a possibility?
If I can move it back, I have, because of the elevations.
Yeah.
I need to get down to get out of the pond. So I could pull the contour back, but, I would be more, it was just put the pipe in, pull the grade back a little bit, so I was trying to disturb as little as I could in this area, but I could
There
do
was
a little more, if
There was I'd like to, since we have space, just not, riprap this right into the river. There was a property a little further north, they did something, they called it, was it like a level, was it
Yeah,
a level
I could-
spreader?
Yeah, I could add the levels.
Could you do something like that?
Mhm.
And then, because then you'll have this level spreader here, and that'll start to slow, that will diffuse the water as opposed to, just riprap into the river.
Yep, I could do the level spread.
But I really, really, really appreciate, this. I mean, further on the agenda is, a whole discussion about riparian buffer corridors. So if you could take a look at that, great.
Minor thought,
Mhm.
since this is very close to what we were discussing a little earlier, with the overtopping of the silt socks and such, if we find that there is a better solution that works in that area, in that piece,
So I got
can it
just,
be incorporated here as
yeah,
well?
so I know we talked about it at the last meeting, I
Mhm.
eliminated the silt socks
Yeah,
on
it's
this.
GSX,
Okay.
right? It's Silt Fence, right?
I did the silt fence,
Yeah.
I could do a double row of silt fence.
Well, whatever
Whatever works.
Whatever works
But I
next
think you're
door.
right, the socks there's something
The-
going
Yeah.
on here
Yeah,
that's,
I don't,
Yeah,
we talked about at the last meeting, this site has the discharges from the state, so when it rains, you're getting discharge off of the property, because there's pipes, there's a pipe here that
Yeah,
discharges from the
yeah.
state. I actually have it,
but do we know there's no pipes from the
there's
state
no
here?
pipes from the
Okay.
state coming under our property, I have
that we know about.
No, I know, just quickly,
That anybody knows about,
yeah, 'cause I have,
including perhaps the state.
I have a lot of plans here.
I see that.
So, it's upside down, but this is the 730
Yeah.
right
Oh, there's,
now.
okay.
Yeah,
So we have this pipe that discharges from the state, we have this pipe that discharges from the state, and then there's another one. So there's
Yeah.
three that discharge from federal road onto our
Right.
property.
right.
And that's,
And the problem's
That's-
though, way down here though.
I think the problem is over here, it's on this side.
Okay.
Because this is where it's all, because right, Michael, you said they're actually working over here.
Yes, I saw that right up near, they were taking
Yeah,
something from
they
a
were
pile
moving
of.
some material the other day.
Mhm.
And I think the issues are down here where the discharges are, where we don't have.
It's over on the northerly side?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I was walking right here and I didn't see the silt fence, but pictures do not lie.
So you're saying the problem they're having is
It's
where?
coming from, so see this line here?
But where is the silt fence that's being overtopped?
I think it's down here.
Right in here?
Yeah,
Okay.
but on our site, 701.
Now, are these,
There is no drainage pipes that
Okay.
discharge in.
do these two devices exist, or these are proposed?
These are proposed,
Okay.
we haven't put those
To
in.
Yeah.
try and deal with the problem.
Right, because there's check dams in here,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it'll slow the flow down before it gets into,
Mhm.
to it down to the
So it
river.
sounds like,
Once this is, the problem is they have to work the grate, you have to fill,
Mhm.
cut to get to this point,
Yeah.
and they're not there yet to put this stuff in.
Right.
but the problem seems to be during this construction phase.
Correct.
Oh,
Well, it's at least now.
now, pre-construction.
We-
Which I
The
think-
future is hard to predict.
Basically, all that's happened so far is the land's been cleared.
Correct, and because it's discharging, every time it rains, these are catch basins, so it's
Mhm.
coming from the catch basins off of Federal Road, and it's discharging here, so there's water obviously flowing out of it, and it's coming across, because it's all cleared and it's dirt.
Right.
Mhm.
Even a little, we're seeing a little movement is creating a buildup in that silt fence.
Right, but it can be fixed. We can somebody will come,
Yeah,
clever minds will
Yeah,
come up with a better solution. Plan
You
A
know, they
didn't
might
work.
have to get these
Plan
check
A didn't work,
dams.
Plan B didn't work,
Right.
Plan C will work.
Right.
And
Well,
then we have
correct.
this permanently.
Correct, and this will be all vegetated.
Right.
And this is all planted.
Right.
Those pipes are under
Okay,
federal
just-
road, or will be under federal road, right?
They're
Yeah,
already
They're
here.
already there.
They're already there,
And we're
okay.
extending them down
I see, okay.
to a rolling riprap apron into like a
Mm-hmm.
swale with check dams with them
Yeah.
all planted.
Right.
Okay.
But back to 701.
701.
Okay.
So there is no drainage pipes that come off, and we have this pocket, this wetland that's
Right.
kind of protecting us from anything that's coming off the federal road.
Right.
So I don't anticipate the same issues that we're having at 731 on 701.
But we don't know.
We don't know, but I don't.
We don't think so, but we don't know.
Right. I went out there with Dynas, we found that pipe that
Did
you're
you?
talking about.
Okay.
It's only a 10-foot little section of pipe,
Yeah,
so what I did, just as a
So it goes
precaution-
nowhere, right?
It goes nowhere.
Okay.
It looks like maybe at some point, if it overflows, it drains down to the wetland. So what
Okay.
I did is I put a little inlet in to catch it in case it ever overflows, so we're not washing, and I don't want it to, to damage any of the pavement.
oh, okay, so,
It doesn't look like
it's looked like,
it's very old.
it's very old.
And because if you look at the contours, everything drains out this way with this wetland. So I think it's just some sort of an emergency pipe, so if it fills up, something gets clogged
So you think
here.
it should remain?
Yeah, we're not gonna
Okay.
touch it, I'm not gonna.
Okay,
I just put a basin over here, in
Okay.
case for some reason this gets blocked or something happens, it's just an emergency drain inlet to
okay.
capture if anything ever overflows out of that.
So it's actually a pretty good sized pipe, huh? So
Well,
lengthwise,
the
right?
pipe is right here, it's only 10 feet. The
Oh,
pipe is very small.
okay, so it opens on, it's daylight's on the other side.
Yeah, so
Ah.
it's just,
I was only here,
Yeah,
looking
I
there.
walked
I was
in
looking for
there.
the ducks, and I said, oh, wait a minute, what's that thing?
yeah, we walked in and
Okay.
we measured it. It was just a 10-foot section of pipe.
Okay.
It's a 15-inch pipe, 12-inch pipe, I'm sorry. Just a metal pipe, very old. It has to have been there for a really long time.
Yeah,
So and you kind of tell by the contours, so if it ever does
Yeah.
overflow, it grades down. So like I said, I just put an inlet here.
Yeah.
Just for the, just
Yeah.
as a precaution.
And this goes into your,
into the basin.
into the basin.
So, and what I did with the basin is I did 2 forebays, so we have a drainage system that comes down this way,
Yeah,
and the drainage system that comes down this way, so it gets pre-treated in here,
yeah,
overflows like a little berm, and then it comes
Yeah.
into the main bay, and then will go out through the pipe.
Let me ask a question about a very old pipe on a piece of land that was probably put in for some building that was there 100 years ago. Any possibility it's lead?
I don't think it's lead.
it didn't look lead, it
didn't
looked like
look
a,
like lead. It just
it's a
looked like a-
good-sized drainage pipe,
Gotcha.
Michael.
Lead
Okay.
is rather soft, it would be unusual, it seems to me, to
Yeah.
use lead as a pipe.
Yeah.
It just looked like
Underground.
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
it was
I,
a smooth surface metal pipe.
okay,
that's what it looked like,
just a
yeah.
stray thought.
I know, Michael, you had concerns about the trucks back,
Mhm,
coming over,
yes.
so we added a fence
Okay, to keep,
to keep, to delineate,
Yeah.
to make sure that they don't go
Oh,
over the
that's good.
curb.
Good.
I did give you 2 reports from Jim McManus about his wetland delineation.
Okay.
And, I did look at this again after we submitted it.
Yeah,
It's not very accurate, because it doesn't show the wetland in the front, it doesn't
Mhm.
show wetlands here.
it did not, no,
So,
we just wanna be sure.
yeah, and Jim, he outlined his methodology of how he, flags what, he's here, if you have
Yeah.
any questions
Yeah,
for him.
we'll go take a look at that.
And then he also did a wetland impact, by shifting the basin back, getting
Yeah.
rid of the parking, having the basin. He found, minimal impacts to the wetlands. It's beneficial for the basin to be there, because, like, it's good and clean. The salt in the winter will filter out in the basin before anything discharges down to the wetlands.
Okay. So I just want to go back to this, just to make sure I really, because when you walked here, you
Mhm.
probably saw what, there, and these topo lines show like a, there is a, I don't know, it's like a hill, really, it
Yeah,
comes
so
up, right? And,
There's a high point right here,
right,
so this drains down.
and there are, in here, there are a number of, right on this edge, and there was one of them sort of right on this hill, trees.
We're not
that-
touching any of
That's what I
those.
wanted to be
Yeah.
absolutely sure of. Like I said, because I think you'll see that, because I think in general now, I think I'm good with that. I want to speak for Michael or Dave. But I'm going to be very specific probably in this motion that, this silt fence is here on the top of
Yeah, I
that
think
hill.
I put some silt fence
Yeah,
to
it's on the
protect it.
top, right, and, maybe some special consideration, if there's a tree there that
Mhm.
that nobody's driving over the roots,
Yeah.
that kind of,
We can
that
do,
kind of thing.
construction fence around the trees.
Right, you know what I'm talking about,
Well, I
I
do,
said,
the drip
yeah.
line, so
There's
that
a-
they're not driving on the drip line.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the greatest trees of all time, there's a couple of cedars in there that are struggling, I think there was I wanna say there was a trying to succeed London plane tree that's in there, sort of on this side.
It's very overgrown.
It's terribly overgrown, but the
And there's-
ducks, it's a wetland and the ducks were happy.
Yeah.
They were, I didn't see them the second time, so maybe they gave up. But so you'll hear that, like I said, in the motion,
Yep,
that
that's fine.
silt fence is gonna be on top of that, if
Mhm.
there's some trees, roots, so I think I've beat that one to death, but I wanted to be really sure on that one, because again, that provides, that additional canopy for the wetlands and
Yeah, and we didn't do the tree survey down here, cause I moved everything back.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine,
'cause
that's
this
fine.
now, none of the, like I said, except for this little strip, none
Yeah.
of this will be is proposed to be disturbed.
Right.
during construction. What am I looking at here? Is that just
So
another
That's the other
delineation
wetland.
of the
It just
wetland? Okay,
It just is like a little finger that
Oh,
pops
okay.
out.
understand.
I tried to pull it back as much as I
So
could.
you're away from that wetland?
So this is the silt, that's the
That's-
zone, the silt
that's-
fence is, the silt fence over here is
I'll show you. The silk fence is this line.
this line, okay.
So I wrapped it, it comes all the way around, and it comes up here, and comes around.
Okay, so the only possible, I don't know how many trees are down and around here. So there's probably gonna be some trees come in on this wetland here, we're gonna lose, but you've got a landscaping plan over that area?
Yep. So she has a tree here, and then, sheet, of course, I have it.
I'm interested, you know, we can just double check that, you know, we're putting in some, you know, not just understory trees, but some larger trees like oaks or something here.
I'll tell you what they are right now.
Yeah.
I just needed them. So this NS is, NS, that's a wildflower sour gum. I don't know, I'm not a tree person, so. This is CA, she has summer sweet.
That's a bush,
That's
that's
a bush.
clethra, yeah, that's clethra. So these are two sour gums.
Yeah, well, this is a different one.
Oh, that's a
This is
different one,
AS,
AS.
which is a Green Mountain maple. She's in maple here. I can have her put some, like, change these to a couple of trees.
Maybe, I think that's what we're gonna talk about, is rather than clethra here,
So yeah, those are the
um,
summer sweet.
yeah, summer sweet, yeah, it's a bush, it grows
Yeah, yeah,
about, it grows
okay.
about that tall. I mean, I think we might just talk about a few more trees, cause you're gonna take, I don't, like I said, we don't have a
Yeah,
tree
so-
survey, so I don't know exactly what you're taking out,
So she
but,
has the canopy tree, so the NS is a canopy tree.
yeah.
So, you know, we can have her do another one, or, you know.
Maybe let's add some more taller trees. We're looking at the wetlands on the north side.
Mhm.
You know, I said, I don't know exactly what's there now, except the whole thing is treed and it's not, it's just, it's treed. So we're talking about maybe replacing, yeah, sugar gum I think is a taller tree. Maybe,
Mhm.
she's got some clethra there, maybe we put some oaks in there.
So are you concerned on the northern portion, Chair Fox, about the proximity to the wetlands in that area?
Yeah, because I said, I don't have a tree survey, right? So I don't know exactly what's coming down in that, you know, in the wetlands on the north side. So I don't know what kind of shade that wetlands gets right now, but we can, you know, we can replace it. She's got some sugar gums, one sugar gum, they got a maple right next to it, and there's a little bit of clethra, you know, there. So maybe we replace the clethra, maybe a couple, I don't know what these things are, maybe some other bushes.
VN
Yes, CA,
that is, verbenium
viburnum.
viburnums.
Yeah, so she's got some bushes down there, so maybe we just replace those with trees.
Okay,
You know, I said whether, you know, oaks or maples.
okay.
Again, just to, I said, I don't know what's there now, but I know that right now there's not, this doesn't provide, and won't for years, right,
Right,
shade. So,
okay.
and we can either, I said, I don't know how, you know, you know, if there's a, I would even be happy if they were to, I said, I have no idea what, you know, the price for trees now is impossible to predict, right? Nobody knows until you get there and have it on the truck.
Right.
You know, if she wanted to put something else, like I said, just a regular, you know, oak tree, maybe even a bigger caliber oak tree, particularly if one's coming down, you know. I don't think necessarily the sugar gum is crucial,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Like I said, just something, like I said, because most of, because it doesn't even look like it needs wet feet, right? It should be out of the
I don't,
wetlands.
yeah, so so this is the berm, so like in this area, I would do the trees.
I'd like to
Anything-
see more trees and fewer bushes. And
Okay.
plus, you know what, that's gonna make your maintenance plan a lot simpler,
Okay.
because clethra, I
Yeah.
forget what the other stuff was, you know, that,
So all this stuff in here is, because we have the basin in here, so, and she has stuff that would be good on the berm and things like that.
which would be great, but I think here, to
Yep.
put that shade back, let's replace some of the clethra, and I forget what that was.
Yeah, the verbenium.
Viburnum.
Viburnum, you know, the
They're
viburnum would
pretty in
say,
the fall.
you know,
Okay.
3 oaks or maples, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look at what, Jim's given to us here. I know he's here.
And I know you had commented on 731 about the validity of that wetland as well.
Yeah, that's just in the future, right?
Well, I wanted, so with that project, we had, the town had hired a wetland consultant who was Eric Davidson, and they hired Steve Trinkus to do the engineering review.
Mhm.
And I did bring it, Eric did, verify the wetland boundary for that. And he had a couple, there was 2 questions, which were the drainage ditch, but other than that, he was in agreement with that wetland boundary.
That's fine, and we're just gonna go through that once we get to that point,
Okay.
just to be sure, you know, so that the record is, you know, the record's clear, but I appreciate you saying that. So I don't know, Jim,
He's over there.
he's over there, so, yeah, so just, can you just help us here, cause I see I see you got the, maybe just help me with the questions.
Sure.
So again, just for the record,
Good evening, Jim McManus, certified professional soil scientist with J-Man Wetland Consulting Services with offices in Newtown.
so, again, Jim, like I said, we know the GIS map that we got, there's a couple of them, as you
Yeah.
know, that are floating around. We just wanted to confirm that this is showing a wetland sort of more in this area. So I just wanted to confirm with
Right.
you that you were digging holes,
Yep.
not only right over here, but you're
Yep.
digging holes over in that area. So,
Yeah, let me, if,
yeah,
forget the letter, that's just blah,
Gotcha.
blah, blah. But
Okay.
how I usually do it, how I do it every site, is I pick a property boundary and I start walking until I get to a wetland boundary. And then we'll flag the wetlands, and then when I'm done flagging all the wetlands, I transect the property. So I actually check everything. I transect the property, because I know I had a wetland here, and I know I had this wetland here, so let's make sure there's nothing else.
so you did
anywhere
that by
else.
walking?
Yes, I do
Okay,
that
so
on all
so
sites.
there were no holes dug in this
Oh,
area?
no, if I see a suspicious areas, I'll dig.
Okay, but that you recall anyways, you didn't dig in here because you didn't see any reason to dig, is that what I'm gleaning from?
I don't recall, but believe me, if there was a wetland there, I would've flagged it. So, if it's suspicious, I dug holes,
Okay,
no question about it. Why the GIS has it like that, you know, it comes off of the web soil survey or
right,
The NRCS.
NRCS soil
NRCS.
survey, whether it was offline or old survey. And there are, you know, they have you gotta remember, their minimum mapping is 3 acres.
right,
So a wetland like this would never, ever, ever, ever show up on a soil survey map,
Okay.
ever.
all right,
Because they're gonna take a big blob.
yeah,
So these are, and they might have been added, you know, way back when they were made.
yeah, well, that was the conversation, like I said, it's a pretty big area, I mean, you're right, they're not accurate to the
No, but they missed a
nanometer.
lot.
Yeah, that's why we asked, that's why we wanted
Yeah.
to be sure, because if we saw this, and we're going, geez, that's a pretty big
And that's why.
visual discrepancy, right? So
And
that's why we
all
asked,
the commissions in the state of Connecticut have a guy like me or a woman go out and do what I do. Because these are very inaccurate. Some are worse than others, some towns are worse than others, some towns are better than others, but they're all pretty general. So we need to do an on-site delineation to really zone in on everything.
so you're telling me from your walk around,
Right.
there's no
There's
reason
no
to
mo-
dig
there's
holes
no
and
reason to dig.
confirm,
Yeah,
there's no
I've already
reason.
done it.
No, well, you say you didn't dig here, you
I
dug
don't know
over
if I
here.
dug, no, I dug
You
here
wa-
because it was wet, but
Yeah.
I said I've scanned the entire property, so anything that's not flagged on the site is because it's not allowed.
Well, you look at plants too.
I look at landscape position plans, that's what tips me off. And then I start using my auger to zone in on where the flag goes.
Okay,
So, I've been doing it over 30 years. I can tell you if a site has a wetland in seconds. I can't tell you where the flag goes sometimes, but I can tell you if the site is wet in seconds.
So to really narrow down this line, you
I
probably
augured.
you augured around
But
this
also,
to really.
I look behind me too, make sure there's nothing leaping up the slope, because the site, as you know, as this whole
Right.
commission knows, is extremely thick.
oh, yeah. it's
So I
awful.
had meticulously had to backtrack myself, because it's easy to miss stuff when it's that dense.
All right, okay. And then I said your professional opinion about anything in the letter that you want to highlight in terms of the impacts to the
No, I
wetlands
mean,
here?
Michelle kind of hit it. I mean, we're pulling everything back.
Yep.
We're gonna have a nice buffer of undisturbed buffer to the Still River. That is the resource of concern on the
Yep.
project site. This is sort of a man-made whatever.
But it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's regulated, I mean, it
Yeah.
meets the state regulation, but this is what we're talking about here. And with the moving of the parking and leaving this a better buffer, and then all the BMPs for the stormwater, and diligent monitoring during construction.
That was
Yeah,
gonna be
that's,
the other
you
thing.
know-
I think we're gonna have monitoring on this.
You can see on my report, I highlighted that,
Yeah.
diligent.
Yeah,
And it's always, construction sites are always a challenge.
they're always, it's a managing surprise.
It is.
Yeah.
I asked a project manager that, he goes, yeah,
Yeah,
it's how we stay on schedule is we know we're gonna have issues. It's
Right.
managing those issues as quickly as possible.
it's managing surprise, yeah, the PMI will tell you that in the first paragraph.
So
So
yeah.
you're saying the wetlands in the front
They're-
by
they're-
Federal Road, they were
They were created by man.
Yeah,
huh,
They were dug out,
yeah.
These.
yes. These are natural. Though they may be disturbed, but those are created by Mother Nature, and then man sort of hammered them over the,
Yeah, I don't
Many
even know whatever
decades,
happened
not
here.
century.
You know, who
well, this
whacked
whole
it
area,
down
this
with,
whole area.
yeah.
Then you get on to Gray's Bridge, it gets even worse.
Oh, it's even worse.
Ridiculous.
It's awful.
You think this was tough walking? Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
anything else?
The natural diversity database, did we get that?
So we have contacted, Eric Davidson, since he helped with
Yep.
this property over here, our schedules are tight.
Yep.
He did say to Tony and I that he doesn't foresee anything being here because it's a flood zone property, just as the property next door. And the only area that we did have the endangered floral was up on the rock outcropping, so he doesn't anticipate anything to be
Okay.
here, but he's in the process.
Okay.
And we only had a week, so a week and a half.
We have 2 weeks, I think.
Well,
Tony
I
did-
have to get everything to you on Wednesday, so.
Oh, yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
really
Well, we
a week
have,
and a
yeah,
half.
that's how it always is, so.
But we have hired him to
Take a look.
take a
Okay.
look for us.
All right.
You know, thanks for cutting back the driveway. I know that was a big thing, even though we've skirted over it, but thanks.
Yeah. Okay, I have to tell you, I think I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this with these two little changes. Let's take a look at a level spreader here. Okay, so we don't just have to drop this into the Still River, Jim.
Well,
Right.
the Still River's down here, so you still have a large.
It's a wetland.
Well, or right into the wetland, so something that will spread it out, so
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
fine.
just dropping it
Yeah.
into the wetlands there. I
Yeah.
think we can make some minor modifications, like some trees here. It's probably a junky mess, I acknowledge that, but there's probably bigger trees.
This here has sort of been disturbed, for sure.
Yeah,
This is a little better, because it's right up against the river, that even the farmer would have, he didn't want his livestock being that close.
yeah,
But
no,
this has been, and this extends into 731.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of shade, right now they've got like 2 trees, there's a sugar gum and a maple here, and I think there were some bushes, so I'm just suggesting, look, we keep the trees, if you wanna change the sugar gum to oaks or maples or something like that. Yeah, and then maybe a couple more trees, just replacing the bushes, and we get some more trees to shield this wetland. I'm gonna be okay with this, we do have till the 23rd. Let's see if we can get the natural diversity database in. If not, if we can't get that in, I think, we could do I would be willing to do some kind of approval, because I know you guys are trying to get this zoning, right,
Yeah.
for this. I can do some kind of approval contingent on that, come and clean.
Is there
Okay.
any way, because I won't be here for the 23rd, is there any way to do these those 3 things, I guess, as conditions?
Is Eric gonna visit the site in the next 2 weeks?
I'm thinking he is.
Are you okay with doing,
Like,
approving with provisions?
Obviously, I'll come back with the changes
Mhm.
and with your, to your liking.
Staff approval?
No,
No,
I think we can do it. Yeah, I'm okay with that, I think.
Okay,
given
I didn't
the,
mean to be pushy or anything, but,
Yeah, no,
Why
I
not?
think we can do that, 'cause like I said, we're not trying to, everybody has schedules, right?
yeah, yeah.
So,
Wait, these two things are very, I can mark it up and do it for you right now if you wanted to. They're pretty
they're pretty
straightforward,
basic, yeah, they're
And
okay.
they're minor. You know, we're gonna
Um,
have Abigail or Michelle will just replace a few plants and then she'll
Yeah, I
pull
think,
that back.
yeah, she's got clethra and viburnum in here, so
They're-
I'm gonna,
They thicken out when they get
they
going.
thicken out, I'm more interested in the shade, you know? There's enough over here for the birds to have a gay old time, but I think if we can get some oaks or maples, maybe 3 of them, to replace something in here, or if she can fit them in, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure she can.
Yeah, oaks, oaks or maples. All right. Okey dokey.
Would you want Abigail to make the changes now, or just submit them later?
No, and I think we can make it contingent, and I think, if we give you guys a month, is that enough time to replace the plans?
Yeah,
30 days?
30 days is fine.
Okay, and
Okay.
I just
the-
won't be here for the next meeting, so I just.
Right.
And we can accommodate that, right? We can
Yeah.
accommodate that, so. We'll be here.
I know.
Every
I'll be
2
on the
weeks.
beach.
Better,
And where are you going?
better than anything on TV, I know I repeat myself.
The Dominican.
Okay.
Don't drink out of the,
I know.
All right, help me out here, I'll make the motion. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we're
you
gonna
make
do
the
it.
motion,
No,
because
you
you sort of
do
know
it,
what
'cause
you
you've
want
got
to
everything
do.
written down.
I don't have it all written down.
You have the stipulations in there.
Yeah, okay. I'll make a motion to approve 701 Federal Road, its activity number W-22-4, as described on a plan by Artel Engineering with an original date of February 7th, 2022, with a last revision date of 5/2/2022, with the following stipulations. First, that all the usual stipulations will apply. Number 2, that the proposed discharge point on the easterly side of the property be replaced with a level spreader. Just help me remember here. Hey, here we go. With a level spreader, stipulation number 3, that 3 additional Connecticut native species trees be added to the plan on the northeastern corner, with consideration that some of the viburnum and the clethra on that may be replaced with trees. Third, that consideration on the westerly side, when the silt fence is placed, the consideration be given to any existing roots for trees that might be located on the slope between wetlands, flags. Can't read them here. Oh, here we go, C-17. On the slope between C-18 and C-10. Third, that a.
That was their,
Oh, thank
that was
you.
it.
Four.
Fourth, that, and these plans will be, the plans will be updated by June, what's our meeting in June?
You want to do it a month
Yeah, by
now?
June 13th, that these revisions to the plan be provided by June 13th. Fourth, that the report. 5, that the report for the natural diversity database be provided to the commission by June 13th, 2022. The approval is conditioned that that report would not require any additional revisions, any consideration, that the approval is conditioned that that report does not identify any species of concern, otherwise the approval can be revoked.
Can I just add one little thing to that?
Yeah.
We have no control over NDDPs, and they're overworked and understaffed.
You guys come back to us, okay? You guys can come back. They come back. We say, look, it didn't happen. Then we'll work with you, okay? We'll work with you.
I just want to let you know.
No,
that-
we do appreciate that, but I gotta put some times in
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
Steve.
And Eric will be on
Jim.
the site too.
Yeah, I have to put some times in it. So I gave you a month for the revised
Yep,
plan, a
yep.
month for that. Again, as you know, run into trouble, come back.
Yeah.
Normal stipulations, and, 6th,
5.
that, a monitoring plan by a Connecticut soil scientist be, established to review the site after, review the site as required.
Well, Chair,
Yeah.
since I think we're already having, since your Rabinowitz go out to 731 twice a week, bi-monthly,
Whatever it is, yeah. As required. I'm just saying, we're gonna establish a monitoring plan with a Connecticut soil scientist to review the site as required. To be, and the expense to be, invoiced to the applicant. I think I got everything. I got the stipulations, also to be effective the first day after publication. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Michael. All right, so discussion on that. We got, this is gonna change, we've got this, the pipe, we've got protection here, we've got protection for any trees, roots that might be as a part of the silt fence inspection. We gave you a month for that. We talked about a month for the natural diversity database. Again, if something happens, come back. We understand that. And again, but I had to put things in there, right, so that we know what's gonna happen if things don't happen.
We had, talked about what we were gonna do with, you are using silt fence, silt fence here. Are we going to want to modify that if we find out in the other property that?
I think that's what our monitoring will tell us.
Okay,
You know,
that something more is
it's
required, a
something more is
higher
required,
fence?
higher fence, doubling up, you know. I think we can be okay with their best analysis of what they've got to work with.
Mhm.
That single should be okay, but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Did I get everything? All right. Any other discussion on the motion? All right, all those in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries unanimous, 3-0.
Congratulations.
All right.
Do you
Uh,
want this one that you marked up?
Yeah. can I
Yes.
You can keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
okay. No, let me take the whole package. Let me go get the package from over there. Or you know what? I'll sign it. I'll come in to sign it, Rochelle. Okay, rather than take the time
Sure,
tonight,
okay.
okay? So we're,
I'm here to the end too, so.
okay, I don't know if we'll get to it. All right, so, 7:01, done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next we've got 23 Grays Bridge Road, self-storage building. Got some. Oh,
Things falling apart.
And I just tripped right over.
oh dear.
No loud comment, really, please.
Nobody gets hurt.
Hope that didn't make the video. Alright. For the record, we don't ask what you have to do.
All right.
For the record, my name is Steve Sullivan from CCA Engineers. Joined by
Carl Stephanus.
Phil Marcus.
Jim McManus.
Okay.
Jim McManus, soil scientist.
So, the last meeting we requested we do some tree survey between our infiltration basin and the wetlands.
Yeah,
And so that's what we show here. Let me just shift this over.
so there are no trees over here?
Well, no, they're trees, but you asked for.
These are the ones that are gonna stay.
Correct.
But,
Yes.
but there are trees in here that you have to take down.
Correct, so we did shift everything over to save these trees. So I changed the shape of this basin, like you asked,
Yeah,
and we're saving these trees. And let me get this. So, there's only these two and these two, which are delineated here and here, are not gonna be saved. So that's a 12-inch ash and an 18-inch cottonwood.
there's an ash still in there? Wow, a 12-inch ash.
Yep.
It'll be dead.
And that's a
Unfortunately.
cottonwood there as well.
Unfortunately.
So we did pull this back to save the rest of those trees. So we have a new tree line here, and we also proposed some shrubs on the top of this berm that's around here, which is shown on our landscape plan.
Are you saying those are the only trees that are coming down?
That's between the, yeah, we requested to do a tree survey
Okay.
between the wetlands and where our proposed grading was, on
Okay.
the outer edge of the basin.
Well, I think you're saying there are more trees in here.
Yeah, oh, yeah, this whole-
There's-
this whole site is
area
wooded.
is wooded,
The whole
right,
site
the
is
whole
wooded,
site
yes.
is wooded.
And it's not being cleared,
Not
No, it
yet,
is,
not yet.
or is going to be?
this, yeah, the limited construction is this grading
Okay.
plan, so everything
Here
the-
is,
is
Going
gonna
to be cleared.
Correct.
So
So you-
there's trees in here.
Correct.
We don't know how many, but they're gone.
Correct.
To do this
yes,
work.
Yes. Yeah, so we changed the shape, we located the trees along the riparian area, and we pulled it back to save those trees. And then we also proposed, on the top of this berm, we proposed some more additional shrubs, which is here, and located along here.
That's these guys, the
Yeah,
service
that's all.
berry, the dogwoods,
Witch hazel. I think
pepper
is
bush, the
one.
witch hazel,
Yeah.
blue rug juniper. I don't think, that doesn't, I'd have to double check, I don't remember if that's native.
Changed, where's that? That's over here. That's a
That's in
foundation.
front of the foundation.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were able
And
to,
then we have we submitted Jim's impact report, which you can summarize.
okay, we'll take a look
Yeah.
at that. So I wanna go back to the excavation part of this. I think your note said you've gotta take out, what, 6,000-ish cubic yards? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's from a finished grade to an existing grade comparison. It's close to being balanced, right? So, but of some of the material that we're gonna be cutting out, we'll have to take that off-site because it can't be used underneath the building, because it's probably not structural.
No, we have to use controlled fill
Correct.
under the building. The slab has to support 250 pounds per square foot as a wide load.
So
it
how,
can't have any organic or anything, it has to be controlled.
there better not be any organic stuff down, well, there were tree
Well-
roots, right? Tree roots, but, so how far down do you guys think, I see a note, you know how far down you're gonna have to go, or you don't know how far down you're gonna have to dig? I saw a little note towards the bottom saying we might not know something until something happens.
No, we know the depth, but when we're excavating out this material, until we have the geotech out there when he's monitoring the construction here, we don't know how the quality of that fill, can it be placed under the building? So, we expect that it probably won't be controlled fill enough for it to place under the building, so it'll be hauled off-site.
And, okay, so how far down do you think you're gonna have to dig under this building?
We're filling up.
So there's nothing, there's no
No.
digging
Only
under
the
the building?
topsoil, only the.
What,
only-
like 30, 40 inches or something like that?
Not that deep.
Probably 12 inches or so.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Just get that
under,
organic material out of there.
all right, so, okay, so somehow I was reading this note going, you guys are gonna have, be digging
No,
down
no, no,
5,
no.
6,
No.
10, 15 feet. That's what I was,
Yeah, no.
that's what really
No,
got
it's
me
just
very interested.
How much of the material that we're gonna be excavating can we reuse on site? And that's the unknown at this point. If it's not good enough to use in the building, then it gets taken off.
So the 6,000 is a foot or two down here, and the rest of it is this
This-
infiltration
correct,
basin.
Correct.
Mr. Sullivan, can you explain to us, please, the requirements in the zoning regulations for that,
The compensatory storage?
compensatory storage?
Yeah.
What, can you describe, the purpose of that, and then how you've had to construct it in order to comply with those zoning regulations?
So, yeah, so when you're in a FEMA floodplain area, if you're filling above the, filling up to the floodplain elevation, that's gonna take up a certain volume of area. So we need to, take out an equivalent volume area somewhere else, so it's equal. And that's what this area right here is.
And that, as I understand it, is to protect the land and the building from a potential flood. So now
Yes.
the water will have somewhere else to go.
Correct, yes. Yes, because we're required to.
And what is that, what is the base? Is there some kind of a what is the bottom of that compensatory basin filled with? Do you put aggregate, you put some kind
No,
of
no,
crushed stone? Or,
nope,
I mean,
nope,
is it similar
nope,
to a
it's just
rain garden?
vegetated.
It's just
Vegetated,
vegetated, you just
yes.
pull it out,
Yep, and we vegetate it.
and then, but does that require topsoil?
Yeah, so the finished grade will have some topsoil, and then we'll have the seed mix that we proposed here.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, but just, again, just a fine
Yeah.
point here, you've got 75 feet regulated area from, I assume, these wetland flags?
Correct.
It's 200 feet,
Yeah,
of
that's
course.
this one.
Okay, it's 200, I just wanna make
Yeah,
sure you've got
That's
both
off
of
the-
them.
That's off. the-
Yeah, okay. So so this part is, I'm still a little concerned about here. We've got, what is this, 40 feet here? Is it about an inch?
So, yeah,
Down to 40.
That's a 40 scale.
So from the
So-
silt fence, right, from the silt fence to the wetlands is how far?
I'll have to pull this one.
Okay. So that's the limit of disturbance,
Yeah,
right?
so, yeah, we'll put the silt fence right on the backside of this last contour, right, so that's 2 feet off. You know, right now, from that contour to wetland flag, is that 45? That's 26 feet. And there's another one over here, that's wetland flag 48. That's 18 feet. And keep in mind, this is sloping down, this is
Yeah.
not going towards the wetland, it's all cut down. So, and, you know, it's not running off towards the wetland, just so, from a topographic standpoint. You want Jim to summarize his findings, or?
Yeah, I'd be very keen to hear that, yeah, Jim.
Okay, for the record again, Jim McManus, soil scientist. I delineated the wetlands. When did I delineate this? Well, the end of last year, I can't remember the exact date. But one wetland was delineated along the southern side of the site, which follows along the Still River, and some inlets here that were, the entire upland area is disturbed. Have you folks had a chance to walk the site at all?
No, but too many ticks.
I've walked
Yeah.
I've walked the site, and when you say, when you say the entire upland has been disturbed,
Right.
do you mean like with the American Indians, or?
No,
or-
served recently with, I always think of 100 years forward.
Okay,
Um,
so in the 70s when the bowling alley was demolished, is that what you're referring to?
and probably before that and after that.
And
No.
after, okay, it continued to be disturbed.
Right, and there's, well, let me put it this way, I'd say the numerous fill piles, even this wetland boundary, here, 17, 18, 20, I mean, that's, if you look at some of my pictures, to get off topic here a little bit, if you look at pictures, for instance, 5, for instance, a good one, you can see that that's not a natural boundary, that was made by man at some time.
Right.
There's a moving truck dumped on the site.
Yeah, is that, Mr. Stefan, is that, I don't recall, is that actually a full truck, or was it just a semi? I don't recall.
I think it's semi,
It's just
not,
the storage
not the,
trailer.
the engine,
Trailer,
but
yeah.
the
Right, so it's
tractor
just,
trailer.
this is a semi, it's not the actual truck.
No.
Yeah, there's no engine in there.
Okay, just to get back on,
It's used as a dump.
so, anyways, the wetlands were a mix of disturbed and undisturbed. The undisturbed soils are associated with the floodplain of the Still River, moderately well-drained and poorly drained floodplain soils, including warm soil series. We did a functional analysis, and 3 principal functions are associated with these wetlands, which is the Still River, groundwater recharge and discharge, at least seasonally, and then we have, due to the floodplain, we do have some nutrient removal and retention, and then we do, of course, fish and aquatic habitat within the Still River itself. There are other functions that are that are present, but they're just not principal. Those are such things like sediment shoreline stabilization, the banks of the river, wildlife habitat outside on the floodplain, flood flow alteration, of course, with the floodplain, things like that. We don't have any direct impacts, but however, we did look at the indirect impacts. We look at a number of different things. One is erosion and sedimentation. Steve put together a robust sedimentation control plan that complies with the Connecticut Deeps 2002 Connecticut guidelines. So we're good there. And then the soils on the site itself are about moderately erosive, and so we're not looking for any impacts there. Removal of native vegetation, we sort of just went back through that. A lot of the vegetation is young and disturbed. We do the best we can to leave a nice buffer along the Still River and rearrange the basin to save even more. So, so we have it's our opinion that we have enough vegetative buffer associated with to provide the ecological benefits that are going on, and aquatic habitat such as shading along the Still River as post-construction like we do now. Impacts to hydrology and stream flow is another thing we looked at. We're actually not doing that. And actually that basin that Steve just went through, we're actually adding floodplain, if you will, back to the site. And then finally, we look at water quality impacts. Again, a robust best management practices, which includes infiltration basin, catch basins, hydrodynamic separators, things like that, will control the impervious surfaces, runoff, and cleaning those before they discharge to the wetlands and eventually to the Still River. And also remember that this is a low vehicle generated site or development, so some of the things you might see like at a shopping or commercial development, this is not going to be that sort of vehicular traffic. So in that regard, we're feeling very confident that what we we have proposed is gonna be, with diligent monitoring during the construction phase, we won't have any significant adverse short or long-term impacts to the regulated areas, which includes the Still River.
Thank you, Jim. So I was really kind of hoping, half the time I've been staring at this, I was really kind of hoping you could make this even smaller. I mean, I can see we sort of cut an edge out here a little bit and maybe moved it, 4 or 5 feet this way. I was really sort of hoping we could do, if you gotta dig this deeper, I was really kind of hoping we could, bring this here, so we bring this way even, and like, I was thinking more like this,
So I
not
can't make it
this.
deeper because I'm getting too close to the groundwater.
Yeah.
I want to be
Ah.
separated, that's why. So I already made it 1 foot deeper, but I want some separation between the bottom of this and groundwater.
And the groundwater was determined by,
The
the
test bits,
soils,
yeah, the
by the
test-
okay, so
yeah.
the deeper tests than the
Yeah.
soils test, so the.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
perfect,
correct, yes.
right.
Yeah, the test bits we did.
You're gonna lose the reason we're doing it if we go into the groundwater.
Yeah,
You're not infiltrating groundwater.
right.
The benefits for that and also the stormwater, or the flood containment.
Well, again, the other answer to that is you just have, you got a smaller building. You got a smaller building, you're not putting quite as much water into this infiltration, and that could make it smaller, and we could have a smaller basin here, further away from, further away from these wetlands here.
Or if the building is cut off here, and it just,
Right.
but that's,
That's stressed.
Well, I guess the question that I think you need to answer, would that have any different impact on the wetlands if we made this a smaller pond?
No.
Well, we'd be able to save more trees. There's some trees that you'd be able to save.
Are there?
And we might be able to, I'm more concerned,
Yeah.
the closeness here to the Still River. This is a concern, but we're 40 feet, is that what we figured?
To the, well, that's to the wetland line.
The wetlands?
Well, here, is this not the
That's-
river?
Yeah, that's.
No.
This is not the river?
That's
No, there's a floodplain associated.
this?
No, that's the river right there.
That's the river.
Okay.
This is the river, Jim.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
right, there are wetland flags in
Correct.
here, it's this
All right,
river.
so we're real close to the river.
Yeah, I assume it drops
Drops
down.
down. That's, yeah.
Yeah, the
that's-
drainage
that's
is away from the river
Yeah.
at that particular place. The drainage is coming back into the pond.
I'm more concerned about this, and I'm more concerned about what can we do, like I said, to enhance this buffer. Maybe, I said, reshape this thing? This is what I'm concerned
Is it
about.
shaped the other way? Oh, I mean, here we have it, we shaved off over here, I mean, we could just flip this.
I mean, you see what we
the
did
other
on the
way.
last project. I mean, we're now 50 feet away from the river here, and 60 feet,
This
I don't
could
know,
be
probably more.
flipped to push it away from there, it's just that,
So we were about 30 feet before we changed the shape of that.
One
So
and a
you're,
half,
this,
Four, but
You're-
gain 10 feet.
from here
The
to
contour.
ish,
Yeah,
yeah.
the contour. Just to give you an
40 feet to the river or
idea. To the river, to the wetland, the
The
river.
river, yeah, it's
Okay.
past the wetland, so it probably comes
Yeah.
this way, and then I assume most of the river around that way has a steep bank to it, probably drops off, I think. I don't know
Well,
for
it
sure
depends on where you
here,
are.
because there are no topos here to
Yeah,
show it
well,
for sure.
this area comes in and takes air in this disturbed area here. Down there, there's a floodplain associated before you hit the river, and then down here, there's less floodplain, and you get closer and closer to the river. That's just the way the site was set up.
You mentioned the river was actually moved at some point.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at
History
the
in
old.
70s maybe?
For the highway, for
Yeah,
Route
it's a
7.
state highway.
Super 7, that's
Seven.
Super
That's in the
7 right
city.
There's
there.
something that I might be able to do.
Okay.
I know I can do.
What's that?
I can take some of the roof leaders
Yeah.
and put them in their own galleries and make that smaller.
Okay. Some galleries under the building,
Under
and
the
then,
parking lot. I could do some over here. Well,
and then
actually,
you'd
I
have to
could
find
do-
a way for overflow, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, correct, yes, but I can make that smaller because I'm
Can
taking.
would you be able to overflow here?
Yeah, that's what I would do, yeah.
Okay.
well, there's a choice, that can be done, or, again, flipping this.
Well, what are you gonna flip it down?
Well, that is, actually, actually
changing.
flipping this way, that is having it extend
the-
this way.
Yeah, the challenge.
But
then
then you're
you're
closer
gonna be
up there.
closer over here, so.
Yeah,
we've
you
already
know,
saved
I
that.
saved that cluster of trees.
It's a little better, but still, right, I mean, still, like I said, being able to, keep an area around these wetlands with whatever these trees are is very important. Why don't you take a look at that, Steve? I said, then we can, it's this area for sure, right? We shouldn't have to give anything up here. And getting this, like 50 feet away-ish, see what you can do, okay? That would work.
I thought the size of this basin was determined by the amount of fill you're bringing in rather than the drainage from the roof. Am I missing something?
Yeah, it is, you're right. But, let's see here.
So how would,
I guess what I can do is maybe what I can do is I can put a little wall here to get more volume here. And so it's just a straight drop, and I get rid of that contour, those contours, and I get more volume that way.
of course, the goal would be to move this in.
Yeah,
Right
just
away.
be looking, can we get something, more like this, it's got a little angle on it or something, get it around this off or something, or follow the, take this off, can you do something like that?
Let me see.
Okay?
Let's try to see if we can do something like that in lieu of galleries and in lieu of a gabion retaining wall or something like that too. Because then it's going to be problematic with fencing on top of the wall and this drop off, and then just reshape it.
That's what I'm interested in. I said, I'm grateful for what you did here. We've got 1, 2, 6-ish, 1, 2, if I counted correctly, 7-ish, trees that we're gonna keep here.
Yeah.
There's not much, there is something here, but I said it's not a great distance between here and here. So if you can find a way to round that off, I think I will be a business.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, Sharon, maybe there's some type of trade-off where maybe this encroaches a little bit more here, a bit less here, so we can
Is,
try to move it
Sharon, are
this
you
way.
more concerned here, I see, but what about here?
Well, the river gets further
The
away from
river, the river
okay,
starts to,
Okay, so
yeah, the
I
river
suppose,
goes, is this, whose is
Yeah.
this? Is this yours?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
okay, so there's the
Oh,
river,
there's the river,
okay.
yeah.
And it's over here on the map
Yeah,
anyway.
so it's
Right.
edging,
This map.
it's edging away,
Okay.
away from them,
Who it is.
so.
Steve, is that an option to address the chair's concerns if we leave this the way it is and just increase the planting of trees along here?
I'm more interested in, like I said, the
Yeah.
distance, the planting, I think you guys have already proposed something, it's the distance that I'm interested in.
And what does that do to increase the distance?
It-
What are we trying to accomplish?
I'm trying to maintain, as I said, there's great interest, I said, in these riparian corridors to
Yeah.
maintain what is there
Okay.
now, right? And you've got some trees, but you're taking trees out here that are not, there's something here, that is not on the plan. I want to keep those. That's what I'm
I'm
interested in.
thinking in reality, we could improve the forestation by getting rid of the old trees.
Well, I don't, you know what,
You ought to
there's
improve it.
there's value to
Yeah.
dead trees. There's value there. There's value to maintaining what, as best Mother Nature is
Well,
trying to
it's
put
just
this
like more
back.
ash.
You can't, I didn't say that, Neil, just so you know, I did not say that.
Only kidding. Value to dead trees, we
Yeah.
try to get rid of them. But no, okay, so that was just a thought, that you could increase the planting in here and just leave it, but
You've already got
Yeah.
these here. I said, I'm looking for like I said, for
Yeah.
here, if there's trees that are coming down, I'm
Okay, you
looking for like
understand what
50
you
feet
mean.
in
But
here.
we have this distance here, is this, maybe we can just
We'll-
maintain that
we'll get
distance.
it, we'll get
Take
it.
all the way
take a look,
How's that?
you can
Yeah,
take this
we'll
with
get
you.
it.
That's what I'm kinda interested in. If you
We'll get
do the infiltration,
Yeah.
that's gonna give us more space here. We can probably, to your point, you can get a couple more nice trees in there, it'd be
Yeah.
great. Okay?
Okay.
That can be
Gentlemen,
done.
may I just, if I recall, there is a fence, currently a chain link fence along the entire length of this property.
Yes.
Right, and it's in good shape as far as I recall.
On the riverside?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, that's, you know, obviously useful for containing disturbance, which, so with the, because Mr. McManus's report says that this has a moderate, risk of sedimentation during construction. It's, the last project that we just looked at had a low to moderate, so this seems like it's a slightly greater chance of erosion and sedimentation during construction than the last project that we looked at. So with regard to the commission's interest in, you know, silt fence and erosion and sedimentation control features that will protect in particular the Still River, but also the wetlands pocket here. What is the proposed kind, you know, you have just silt fence?
You have a double row silt fence.
The double rows,
Yes.
and does one of those rows go really kind of directly near the fence? Where is that? I'm not
Yeah,
looking at the right
it's
plan, so-
before it's before that chain link fence, is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
Is
so
this-
you're
this
just,
is in here,
you're
is that what
just
you
on the
said?
inside of
No,
that.
this is our property line.
Oh, okay.
And there's a chain link, there's an existing chain link fence.
So you're about like, what, a foot or two away from that chain link fence? Is that-
Yeah,
okay.
correct.
So the goal is to create, how many feet are we talking about for a corridor
I
here?
think we're talking about, this is probably gonna get you more like 60 feet. You're gonna be like
50 feet?
50, you're gonna be like 50 feet in
Okay.
here, right?
So we're gonna, the goal is to.
Yeah, but then we're getting 60, 70 feet in here, so.
However, the concern, and we spoke about it a few moments ago, making this basin smaller
Still
helps here,
Yeah.
but we have to be careful. I want to be concerned about, the reason for the basin was to hold water in case of a flood.
The compensatory storage, correct.
Correct.
Yep.
And that, my concern is that we don't make it so small that we're not holding enough water that we're going to get flooding. I
Well,
mean, you
it's-
obviously
it's-
did the calculations of
Correct.
what was necessary for the volume of the
Correct.
basin. And if that remains necessary, then we really need to maintain that volume.
Yep.
We're gonna do that, but
Okay.
we're gonna do that by picking up the loss here and putting it back into the ground. Some
We're
of
gonna
it.
put some infiltration
Some-
galleries in here, so.
So, yeah, we'll meet, you know, we'll meet that goal.
Okay,
As long as we can understand where you're trying to go, we can do it.
okay. All right,
Okay.
that would be great. I said, see what you can do there. Like I said, I think we'll be talking about adding a few more trees here. I said, 'cause you are right there. We'll try and keep what's there.
Yes.
Like I
Yeah.
said, Mother Nature does what she does, and she's better than anybody, any of us, better than me for sure. See what you can do, okay?
Yep.
All right, because we've got, let's see, what's the date on this guy here? I think I looked at this, June 15th, so we're not.
Oh, we don't need an extension.
No. Okay?
So
All
you're
right.
continuing to 523.
Yep.
I will not be here, I'm on the National Geographic study.
All right.
Alaska.
Sounds
right.
like fun.
So I'll
Going
make a
far
motion.
north?
I'm going to Alaska
I'll
on
make a
National
motion to
Geographic.
continue
Oh, but
I take these things
23.
seriously.
Hang on one second.
I'm not like you guys.
With,
Hang
I don't
on,
sit
hang
here.
hang on, we're gonna move
With
along.
Lindblad,
Okay, here we
they do
go.
a wonderful job.
Thank
You
you.
will really enjoy it.
All right, I'll make a motion
taken
then to
3 or 4 in their
continue
trips.
23 Grays Bridge Road, W-22-9
exciting.
to our next regularly scheduled meeting. Dave seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty.
Your former first selectman, Bill Davidson.
Okay, we're
is
on to-
masterminding this, because he went on the
Hey
Antarctica.
guys,
Oh,
can we
yeah.
just move on?
You want to do, don't finish these social.
Okay, here we go. No, we've got a lot of people waiting. All right, we've got 40 Green Ridge Drive. It's W-22-14.
Thank you.
Do we have someone here for that? All righty.
Come on down.
Come on down. I said, there used to be chairs
There's
on
a chair
the
right
end.
over there you
You
can.
know, everybody likes to stand. I'm gonna
roll
stand
over.
myself because I'm tired of sitting. All right, let me go get that application.
Oh, so I can do that here. What is it, what number?
Oh, I'll get it. No, I can get it. So just, when she gets done, we're gonna get your name and address for the record when she gets back, because we're short our
This Green Ridge Drive,
recording secretary
Green Ridge
tonight,
Drive,
so,
yes.
yeah.
so 38 Green Ridge.
40.
40,
30 is
oh.
the soil test.
40.
Okay.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it right. 40.
Okay, oh, good. Always better double checking.
No worries, no worries. It's late.
Okay.
Oh, dear, easier said than done.
Oh, right, I'm just.
You
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
the soil test for
Yeah,
next
because,
door.
yeah, we wanted to make sure you were gonna be happy, you know?
Oh, I'm gonna be happy.
That's what we want.
Here you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had the
Okay.
GIS map, we had 2 GIS maps,
One contradicted the other,
and one,
but it
yeah.
shows that this proves the town map right,
Okay. All right.
at least from what I can read off of this.
Okay, well, again, as I said,
You
that's
know,
good for you,
you know.
because you don't wanna have an uh-oh.
No,
No
that's why I'm here right now. I'd rather
You don't want any
know
uh-ohs.
know what I can do before I do it,
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yes, that's a
And I
good idea.
appreciate that, take the time to talk to me about it.
yeah. Where
I
is,
think it was in that pile, I think I saw it.
did you?
I didn't make 7 copies because she didn't tell me to make 7
Oh,
copies.
that's okay, that's fine.
That's the original
There
plan.
we go,
That's
okay.
the actual,
All right, so what did we get new here that confirms this? Do I have that?
that's from 38 Green Ridge, which he's got.
Ah, okay, so.
Maybe it's the next page. Or maybe you
there we
don't
go.
have it if you need it,
Oh,
it's
here it is, here it is, yep. So 38 Green Ridge, 2009.
Which is
Okay.
right next door.
So what are we looking at here? So this is their letter from 2009. And your property is,
I gotta look at it from the road,
yes,
right
Here's
here,
Green Ridge
this side,
Drive.
literally
you're over on this side, right?
right here.
Here's their home and yours.
See grass lawn,
Yeah,
the addition's gonna be right there.
the addition,
Here, you want me to draw it on there?
yeah, you can use that,
Let me just look at it.
that way I'm sure.
Right here. It'll be like this, right over there.
And these are,
Yeah, this is all, this is their septic. They built it up to do, topsoil for drainage, cause they didn't want a pump system for the septic.
yeah, I understand that. So part that I couldn't put together, Michael, did you get that
The
put
map you
together,
had
the
before
map?
said the whole house, like even say this one is all wetlands.
Yeah,
which it's not.
right.
And their proposed wetlands, if you look here,
I'm looking for their,
is right here.
there, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, all right, okay, that's what I was looking for.
And ours actually, if you look at this, it doesn't show our map here,
Yeah,
but ours goes back this way.
all right, okay. All right, well, that's good for you then, right? Okay, all right, well, this is gonna work then. This is gonna work for us, it's gonna work for you, so, okay?
Have we determined that what you're doing is actually out of the review area?
It might even be out of the review
Yeah.
area.
I don't
It
know,
does turn.
that's where I guesstimate, I think I'm within 200 feet. I'd rather bring it up
Of just a
of the
wetland?
wetland.
Well, you don't need to be 200 feet from an ordinary wetland.
When I read
However-
what
If we look at,
Christine?
Christine sent me, I just wanna be
Yeah.
100%, I'd rather
Yeah.
spend the $240 and spend 2 nights to know that I can do it.
Yep.
Cause that's what we're looking to do.
right, so
The
let's
wetland
do,
is,
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
that map, that's right.
Okay, so this
You need to be
is,
75 feet
Thank
from
you.
that kind of wetland.
Okay, if it's 75 feet, we're fine.
so the wetland goes,
I think it's this. I really think
I
it's
don't,
that.
hard to s-
It may even be
I don't know,
closer
here's, oh,
considered
here,
to the
this
house.
is, this looks like a scale.
Because that's the house right there.
There's the house, so this says the wetland line from their home is
Isn't
like
far.
25 feet. So this is 1 inch equals 50 feet.
If you do that, we're probably close to 200, because I think that's what I went through with Christine, that's why
Well, this, isn't this this?
that's this house.
Yeah,
This
so-
is where we are.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna try and draw on here, cause this is what I'm gonna approve here, is there, to help answer your question
Mhm.
as best
Yeah,
we
no, I-
can, right? This is 10, it looks like it's 25 feet. That's what that looks like to me. There's a 10, or maybe a 9 to 23, so maybe 15 feet? And this has a scale of 1 to 50, so it looks like from their standpoint, 1 to 50, it's about this big. Looks like their wetland line runs like that. About 25.
And that
25
comes
feet.
from,
The 2009 work on the adjoining
Okay.
property. Okay, so this looks like,
It is very wet back here.
yeah, yeah.
It's very wet.
So you can,
Up here, it's not.
okay, fair, I understand that. So,
and
but
you're saying though
it probably goes in this general direction.
Somewhere around there, without us doing
Right,
a
so
test.
he's
but
going
if
to be
that's
within.
25 feet, this is probably
Well,
75.
It's, yeah, but I think it's close enough
Yeah.
that we can't give him a pass without knowing, without having him invest
Yeah.
in a wetlands line. I
hear
think
you.
we have to say, look, if we could, we would,
Mhm.
right? But we can't, because we don't have, we have some data that takes us, could even go this way, right? There's the wetland line from this GIS, and it could actually go this way eventually.
So are we saying we need a,
Yeah, we'll say, well,
Survey.
yeah, I'm saying we can't do like a, we're gonna say the wetlands upland review area applies, because we have no
Okay.
data that would prove the null.
So,
So I think we're okay. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we're okay. We're okay.
Right.
Yeah, we're okay. We're okay, you're gonna be okay,
Okay.
yeah.
okay?
That's what I
It's
wanna hear.
within the review area, but
He's-
you can approve it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that's what
Provided-
Michael was
right,
asking. He's going, well,
right.
maybe this wetlands
Right.
line,
but
you
it's too
know,
close to,
it's too close to call
Cool.
without any,
Here,
better
from-
data.
From here to here, I know it doesn't mean anything,
Yeah.
is dry.
Yeah,
And all up here is dry. It's really like when you get back here where our swing set is.
that's what it looks like.
well,
it's
we're kind of nitpicking, but that's our job.
No, I understand,
Yeah.
I understand. If
if
you
we
want, I
were
could bring
sh-
6 other guys with me. We
Yeah,
can all stand over.
so if we were sure this was 75 feet, we would just
I
do
don't
it.
know. You
But
know what I mean?
since
That's
we
why I'm
don't
here.
know, we'll get an application, we'll look
Which we
at it,
have.
we'll
No.
see that you're,
Well, we have one.
We
I-
have.
we have an
I
application.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
applied for
Okay,
it.
you
All
already.
we need to do is have a motion to approve,
Right.
providing he has the proper, silt fence installed,
Mhm.
right?
I'll do
Right,
whatever
which
you
we're gonna-
guys
which
need
we're
me
gonna
to
put
do.
on
Is that
there
what
now.
we're moving toward now?
Yeah, yeah, but I'm gonna write on
Yeah,
the,
good.
I'm writing on the map where the wetlands line is on
Well,
the
I just
adjoining,
heard
yeah.
someone say we need an application, but this is the second time this gentleman has been here.
No.
It's been a couple weeks.
It's been, no, we saw you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, it was
Well,
longer
it
than
was-
2 weeks.
Was it? No.
No, it was 2
Yeah, it was
weeks.
probably 3 weeks ago.
Maybe
Oh,
for
that's
you.
possible
It's-
because of the,
We had a missed
Yeah.
meeting,
no,
Yeah, we had a missed meeting.
we missed one?
not a missed
No.
meeting.
But
No,
a setback
no.
because of the holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to get on one map.
Yeah, got
Right.
it. Okay.
All right, so we are thinking that the wetlands goes, so this is a guess. This is an estimate.
That looks about right though.
Yeah.
I know my yard.
Okay. Estimate of wetlands. Okay, so we got this, okay. All right, I think we're good to go here. I think we are good to go. I
With
can't think of
the
anything else besides
estimate,
usual.
Do we need something that's verifiable, or are we okay with what you're talking about?
No, I think we're okay. I think with the data that we have, and again, in consideration, I think we have enough data.
Okay,
You know, I mean, it doesn't look like it's close, so are we?
yeah, I don't like him jumping through hoops unless he has
Well,
to.
yeah, I mean, I think we're trying to accommodate him, because I think it's
Yep.
reasonable to accommodate them.
okay.
That's what I'm thinking. It's very, we have enough data to prove that they're not in the wetlands. I think there's enough data to
Yeah,
prove
okay.
that. So, you know, if it was a different project, if it was a little bit closer, then we would be asking him to, you know, find a soil scientist and dig some holes. But I think there's enough evidence from the
Okay.
GIS map here, the GIS map that we have, and this, that we can triangulate enough to say they're not taking out wetlands with this project. That's what I think we can
Did you
accommodate.
draw the,
Yeah, I did estimate of wetlands.
silt fence line?
No, that's the next thing. So this is, what is this thing? Is this a pool?
That's a pool.
That's a pool, okay. so
I
let's
think
put
he said
in,
above ground.
Above ground, and
Yeah,
it's
let's put in a
extremely, I
silt
don't know how they
fence.
got by it, but it's extremely wet behind
yeah,
it.
do you know what silt fence is?
Yes, I know what
Okay.
silt fence is, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna draw in on the map, silt fence. Where, does this property slope
Nope, it's completely flat.
completely flat? It should be the whole back, I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
I'll do the whole
Yeah.
back, or do,
Yeah, that's-
like, how far do you want it, like that?
No, I think we're gonna make like a little bit of a curve here,
Mm-hmm.
I think. I think we're gonna do some kind of a curve. You're gonna put, it's gonna be maybe 20 feet-ish.
Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever you guys, if you want me to do two
You
silt
can't go
fences,
through
I
the
will.
pool.
Oh,
I go
I
behind
don't
the
think you'll
pole.
need two silt fences if it's a
I'm
flat lot.
just saying,
Yeah,
that's
but it's
just-
not, yeah.
No, the lot's completely flat.
Problem with going behind the pool is you're getting
it's in the
into
wetlands, yeah.
That's the wet,
that's the wetlands.
It's really wet back there.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to make an accommodation here. You can have a gate.
I'll do it in the front if you want.
No, I'm thinking, I'm about to draw a blue line like between your
like to
home
the
and the
pool
pool.
and around? That's
You
fine.
can put a gate in there to get to the pool,
Okay,
okay? But for the purposes of construction, that gate will have to be, you'll have to monitor it, keep it closed.
we'll just go over it.
Well,
We'll carry the kids over it.
Oh,
It's only,
dear.
what is it, 2 feet high?
whatever. I'm just trying to tell them you're gonna be able to get through that. Okay, so we're gonna
I don't need a
have-
gate, we'll just go right over it.
All right, so
I appreciate that,
here's
though.
the silt fence,
Mhm.
okay? And what you're gonna hear in the motion is you're gonna hear all the usual stipulations. And what that is going to entail, because you're gonna get a letter that's going to say you're gonna install the silt fence. And before you do anything, you're gonna call for an inspection.
Okay.
And then the land use office, perhaps Rochelle, will come out
And inspect this open.
she'll inspect it, it's possible, and make some minor adjustments, but I think we've got the basics between the house and the pool,
Okay.
okay? So. Silt fence in blue. Okay. Uh-oh, oh dear, I didn't mean to do that.
It's okay, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. That doesn't go there, forget that. Silt fence in blue, okay, it's just.
I
gonna
got you,
go
just the
there.
blue.
Yeah, just the blue. It's enough, because you said it's kind of flat, so, and you said this is slab, right? You don't have to excavate?
No, it's on top.
Okay. All right, so any soil that you guys may end up with landscaping, make sure you keep it on,
Okay.
yeah, the
I
non-wetland
don't
side
think
of it.
there's gonna be much soil
Yeah.
to bring up, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Good, that's one less
You
thing
know?
for you to worry about.
Cause the
Okay.
whole house is on above
Can you just
grade.
grab, there's a stamp on that cart, Dave? Okay, all right.
Can I take a picture of that, or are you guys gonna send me a copy of that?
Do we send him a copy? You can
Oh,
take a
yeah,
picture.
we'll send you a
Can I
copy.
just take a
Yeah.
picture?
Oh,
just so
sure,
I-
yeah, sure,
Yep.
of course, please do.
Make sure you have the right date on there.
Oh, I need that's why, it's the approval stamp.
Oh,
You mean
Yeah.
the embossing thing?
Yeah, yeah,
you
you'll
don't
find
want
it.
this?
What?
You'll find it. Yeah. See the other metal thing? Ta-da! One day it'll be your job, Dave, so. All right, did you get your picture?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp it. All right, we're gonna make a motion. We're gonna approve it. Again, you'll hear this thing about usual stipulations. It's gonna be effective the day after publication. So you're approved, but the official approval doesn't happen. You can't do work until it's published, the
That's
day
fine.
after.
Is there like a time frame on the work, so now we have to go to,
Zoning? Yeah.
zoning and have someone draw plans, et cetera?
You're essentially approved tonight, so you can go to zoning if they meet Thursday,
Yeah,
you can see them
The
Thursday.
permit is valid for how long, Sharon? 'Cause I think-
5 years with
5 years.
extensions.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
well-
they just changed it again,
They
but
they change
Either
it all the
start
time.
out with 5 years.
We'll be good by 5 years.
Your letter will
My,
tell you.
my wife wants it done tomorrow, maybe
Okay.
it'll just take
Say,
time, we'll
"Alrighty."
figure it out.
Okay. All right, so, with that, I'll make a motion to approve 40 Greenridge Drive, its activity number W-22-14, as described on a Town of Brookfield GIS map. I don't think this one had a stamp on it. That's okay. Town of Brookfield GIS map with,
Actually,
I don't have a date.
maybe date it and have them sign it today?
Yeah, put a date on it.
Yeah, as
It says
dated.
it's date printed maybe?
Yeah, dated
The 4/20.
on a date which was, added during the meeting of May 9th,
Yes.
2022. I said with all the usual stipulations to be effective the day after publication. I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, Michael seconds that. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries unanimous. All right?
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck with it.
Thank you. You guys made it happen, so.
I'm glad you're so happy.
Glad
with
it
the
worked
place.
out. Like I said, a lot of people in town, they've ended up, they didn't know, they didn't put the due diligence into it. They've put septics in,
And
In
then
wetlands,
it fails at that point.
and big surprise, and now nobody's happy, right, including a huge bill, right?
Well, that's
They're
where I'm
trying-
going through. Once I heard $7 grand for plans, I'm like, let me make sure we can do this. I have no
Yes.
problem spending it.
Yeah,
But let's just make sure we can do it.
okay, all right, so
Alright,
you're
cool.
all good with, you're all good here.
On
You'll
this
get-
part.
Yeah, so you'll get a letter, it'll document all the publication date, it'll document that you gotta come and get that silt fence.
That's easy.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about
okay,
that part.
all right.
Okay, thank
All
you
right,
guys.
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate
Good
it.
luck.
Have a good night.
Yep,
Take
good
care.
luck with everything.
Thank you.
Okay, geez, we got another one here. 115 Wisconsin Road, W-22-15.
Where is that?
Hello, we'll get your name and address, and I'm gonna go get the folder.
Broder, 115 Wisconsin Road.
Okay. Dave, I'm gonna slip behind
Yep.
you.
Well, wait a minute, you don't live there now, do you? So they can lie.
Yeah.
What's your address?
Oh, 41 Longview Drive. I'm sorry.
41 what?
41 Longview Drive. I thought you wanted to ask.
No, no, we didn't do that. Thanks. Oh, sorry, did you get it?
Yeah.
Found it?
Yep.
This is the one with the bridge, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Onto the bunch at this moment. Oh, right. Yeah, this was the one that was sort of
Yeah.
hard to,
That's for the pipe outlet and the construction sequence.
oh, yeah, here's what we were talking about. Wetland.
Anything in our package?
Yeah, I didn't see
I
it.
don't see anything on the application
What? What's that?
in my package. All right, I'll look at this.
Okay, well, this is the original one, so we were
Okay.
trying to understand the regulated area, we were trying to understand the wetlands, and we were trying to understand what this thing was, as I recall, right?
Yep, right.
We're doing this
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, I just
Okay. Yep.
taking notes as I go through. All right.
All right.
So that's what you were wondering about
Yeah.
coming down from the roof.
Right,
And that's what's gonna-
and it's gonna go into riprap. And the riprap is 1 to 30, so it's about 25 feet from the wetlands. Okay. I don't remember, I don't think there's anything.
And wait,
else.
what is it you want to do there?
Build a house.
Yeah.
Build a house, okay.
All right, now, did this get updated? Or
Yeah.
did this is updated, right?
Yes.
Wetlands 427, right, that's the one I'm looking for here. I'm looking for that in our pile, that's what I'm looking for.
This is
Yeah.
the smaller one.
I like the big ones.
Can't read it.
Okay, so this was,
Where is that in this? Not there. Ah, maybe it's this one. Nope, not that one, because that's got a,
Funny, there was nothing in my packet on this.
well, it's possible.
Are you sure? Because I mean, it's that same, there's one in John Donovan's packet.
Well, that's fine, I'm sure there is, I'm just trying to find it in here,
No,
that's
but I
all.
mean for,
Oh,
Yeah, I,
good, if you can't find it, grab John's.
You want some? Here you go.
Okay.
Take this.
All right. Now, Dave, I'll take the stamp. Now I'll take the stamp. Please. All right, 'cause this is the plan that we want to approve,
Michael.
right?
okay.
Let's make sure it's got the right date on it. Ta-da! All right. All righty. We got it.
With authority.
With authority.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're putting it on there, you know, I mean, it's a lot to ask that people change this all the time. And it was like off by a week, and we don't know what we do. All righty, so I think we're okay now. We've got, this is not changing, it's the house. We've
Yeah.
got this, we've got the detail there. I think we're okay. Michael, Dave, anything else for you? All right. Oh, where's the silt fence on this?
Did we do it in last
I
time?
don't know. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it.
Where's the one?
Is it right here?
Oh, here.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So again, you heard the earlier portion. I think we're gonna approve it here tonight. Before you do any work, you gotta get that silt fence installed
right,
and
yeah.
call for an inspection.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Michael, Dave, you wanna
You
take
do
a
it.
stab at it? Okay. I'll get my agenda back here. Is this mine that's creeping over in your apartment? Maybe.
Probably.
I'm gonna take it if it's yours.
All right.
These
All
are the
right.
ones that they gave me.
Yeah, I think we're okay. You know, we're okay here. All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve, it's 115 Wiskaneer Road, it's activity number W-22-15, as described on a map by CCA with an original date of April 12th, 2022, up with last revision date of April 27th, 2022, with all the usual stipulations to be effective the first date after publication. Second? Dave seconds. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries unanimous. As soon as I find my pen, which is right here, I will sign it. So you're all set, okay? You're all set as of tonight. You're gonna get a letter in the mail which will describe all of this, and you should be
It
all
has
set.
to be date of publication, right?
Yeah, the official date is the day after publication, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Good luck with
Yep.
everything.
Thank you. Have a good night. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. All right.
Plans for a driveway.
Me again.
I guess so. Give me 1 second to get
You take your
organized.
time.
No, let me go get it. Michael can run the meeting till I get back. How's that?
All right,
Okay.
tell us what you've come up with
All right.
to connect these two sites.
Where am I? Where did I lose my orientation?
Okay, this is
Oh, this is, there we go. So this is 701,
one,
731. So I have the plan to show you. So we're connecting in here. So I'll show you what we had before. So when it was approved, we had a narrow, it was a one-way, so you came in through the drive-through and you went out and you went up the road. So what we did is we still held the same edge. So this edge has stayed the same.
Okay.
And what we did is this got pushed back, so we lost a parking space to get the width that we needed, we pushed this back.
Push the building back.
Not, the building stayed, it was just, as you can look, so the wetland line, no, this is wetland 4, is still right on the edge of the parking. So we shifted this island, lost a parking space here, so this island moved back a little bit, so that we still keep this, it looks the same because we moved everything. So we widened it, I think this was 12 feet and now we're 26 feet to meet the town regulations. We are not disturbing any wetlands. The grading plan, let me show you the grading plan. Sorry. So with the grading plan, we had you okay, Sharon?
This is what we approved?
This is what we approved.
Oh dear, so we did this, huh?
Yeah. Regrets, Sharon?
I don't
Well,
remember,
this-
but I must,
So
obviously
this-
we did.
He flagged it as a water course. It is the discharge from this drainage pipe that comes from the state.
Well, that I believe, because that's, I said, I've been walking this and all I see is water there.
Right, so what we, here, let me flip one page for you, just so you, so what we had done is we had extended the pipe, did a big rip wrap, and we did a swale. And it came into like a basin that it swaled it all the way down. To that were nice, this is nice and flat, and took a while to discharge out.
Okay, well, I obviously have approved it, but now I certainly don't remember doing that, but that's fine, because I did it, so.
So,
We always try and do better.
kind of keeping the same concept, you're still discharging down. We're just putting a pipe in here now.
I thought you said it was gonna be an open, isn't it, is it a pipe or is it an open culvert?
I ended up doing a pipe. So I did a 40-inch, a 4-foot diameter pipe. So these pipes that are here, these existing pipes, and what I did, I matched this pipe to this, was actually an elliptical pipe. So it's, it's like an egg shaped almost. So I ran the numbers, because for the state, with the permitting with the state, I had to verify the size of this. And a 4-foot, I have way, tons of capacity in this pipe. So it's way oversized for it to discharge through. So it still gets swelled, goes through the pipe, and it continues into this is like a little forebay, and it continues down the swale, down to the Still River.
Where's the driveway? I can't even find the driveway.
So here,
I see the parking, I see
so
the
you come in here, so this is the main
the
entrance.
one that's gonna, we're the one that's gonna connect these two?
Right here. So right,
This is it.
right here. So this went this way. It ended here. This was where it
Okay,
ended.
so this is 701 from here
Yeah,
over.
so see this
Yeah,
dash
yeah, got
line?
it, got it.
That's the property line.
Okay, and so this is.
So it's literally this little bit of new impervious that we're adding.
I see.
Cause it was lawn, and now just this little, this is what we're changing, is this right here. From the property line to here. This disturbance all stayed the same because we had this pulled down this way, so we had more of an aisle, there's more parking here. So this didn't change theoretically. It was this little bit of impervious is what we're adding.
So the plans that you're proposing here that we're discussing in the other discussion already shows this driveway up to this point. Okay. So,
We're asking for
Yeah.
this, basically this new impervious.
Are you
Is this
doing
all
it?
paved?
No, this is
No.
lawn.
This is lawn, so we need this pipe to carry this water that's coming through here, and that goes, is this a basin of a kind, or?
It's kind of, well, it's a swale.
It's a ditch.
Yeah,
It's a
Right.
ditch.
it's a very wide swale,
Right,
basically.
right. And then you need this 4-foot pipe, or even whatever it is, 36 inch, whatever you decide, if you said it was oversized, which is probably better,
To get it under the driveway.
Because this is the new driveway. And
Correct.
so we need to get that water, and before it was going overland, and now it's going.
Right, so just this part of it will be in a pipe, where it was, this section was overland
But
before.
it's not an existing stream or,
Well, it's,
No.
Well, this is an
It was-
existing stream, but we were,
Yeah.
we were already, that was approved to be
Okay.
disturbed. Because we're, basically, this is where the pipe discharged before this project, so we're picking it up and we're extending it a little bit. Cause we're doing a nice big
Mhm,
rip-wrap
right.
apron, so
To
it has
disperse
more
it, right,
disperse
yeah,
it, and then it has a nice overlay, because it's very flat.
Right.
This is very flat, so it won't fly off the
Well,
road
then
like
why,
it does.
but if it doesn't fly off, like, then so what I don't understand then is why you need an enormous height, like,
I'm just,
even if, let's say even if it was 36, or even if it was like 18, I mean, what I don't understand is how all this water that's supposed to be dispersed over here is now gonna collect and go there. Is this gonna be graded so that,
so it's graded down,
Yeah.
so this is 278,
Right,
and I'm graded down to
276
two
and four,
seventy. So you're kind of,
70, okay,
it's
I
almost
see.
like a bowl,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
creating like
yeah.
a little bit of a bowl.
Yeah.
Swale it, 'cause so, and I oversized it, cause this would drain
yeah,
through
I mean,
here.
yeah, I think oversize is better, sure.
Right, and you don't wanna do anything smaller than what's here.
So then, but you don't think that anything's needed here on this side to slow it down because you're saying that this whole thing
It's gonna- this is a-
is low, it's
Yeah.
a depression, it's
Yeah, cause this is
concave.
kind of like a forebay.
Yeah,
And then this overflows and it's a swell, let's see if I can this from here. It overflows out here and it's, a swell.
right.
This is so
Supposed to be,
flat.
so it runs parallel to the river for a while until it actually goes.
Yeah, cause there was like a little finger of wetlands that came up, so we're kind of in between it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's so flat and level, like, it's gonna be nice and,
Okay.
cause we worked with,
Well, yeah, I've seen that part of the,
yeah.
property, yeah. I mean, there's really, it is quite level.
so these wetlands flags,
There's a water, so it was a water course,
it's a water course.
yeah, and
Good.
he
Okay.
didn't, a comment that, Eric Davidson had was if there was a wetland beyond that, and I have the correspondence that Jim had done with Mr. Davidson, that he did not find any soils to support a wetland beyond that water course.
Okay, well,
Just because it was a drainage ditch.
that's what I remember. I said, and I'm going back on this. I said, I remember this is a drainage dish, so I didn't pick up on, I said, there wasn't looking for wetland soils there. That was my first headache.
Right.
And it looks like Jim is saying
There-
before that there are no wetland soils here.
Correct.
I just don't remember the little detail about this. I mean, I can go read up on that. Is
Here,
this-
I printed some stuff. I was, so one of the comments, this was Eric's, no, was this Eric's? This was Eric's. He had asked about, use the right flags. There are two areas of minor changes to the wetland boundary that I would recommend this modifier explain this reason behind its exclusion. Maybe it wasn't this area. 29 to 33. So these, out of this, cause he reviewed, this is his review for the whole 731.
From 731.
And these were his two areas that he had concerns about where he flagged. So so he didn't have any concerns about this. He was okay with what he flagged there.
I know you probably wanna have us approve this modification. I said, I'm just gonna have to go and stare at this a little bit.
That's okay, that's,
I'm gonna have to stare at this a little bit and better understand this situation.
so I was telling Rochelle,
Can you give us like a cross-section at all, or is that out of the question? Do you think you could give us like a section of that? I mean, is that,
no, it's not.
is that, you know, what do they call, what do they call it?
Do you want like a cross-section this way?
I wanna see where the longitude, kind of, like this way.
This, a cut
Well,
this way,
Well,
right?
I wanna see, I kinda wanna see, what I'd like to see is this
It's
basin
here,
through
the
this
profile
pipe,
through the
yeah.
pipe, yeah, cause I said I'm gonna stare at it, cause I'm kind of the same with you.
And
How
like
do we
what
know that
happens on
all
the
of
other
this
side?
is gonna go there?
Yeah, I'd kinda like just to see something from a side view, profile, what happens here.
Right, what happens here?
Right, so-
From 276,
Mhm.
276 down to the bottom of this,
Well,
270,
I'd like to
or
have- yeah, what-
266,
what
yeah, there we go,
happens on the
yeah,
other
Okay, so
266.
you're a lot lower here, so this is.
What's
we
that?
have-
I can't, I took my glasses
That's
off.
okay.
What's that say?
266.
And that's 270, yeah.
So
I mean,
there's retaining walls here.
Sounds like it makes sense, I mean.
So this road is built up,
Yeah,
so you have the road that's up high, so this is your road, say, like this. And then you have like the grade behind it, so your pipe is under here, cause you have these walls, I'm not drawing this really good, but you have your wall that, the pipe is actually coming out of the bottom of the wall. So the
Right.
driveway's up
Yeah,
high
yeah.
and your pipe is down low. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Sharon?
it's a
Yes.
little hard to binge it, but now I see what you're saying.
First, this was described as a ditch, then it was described as flat.
Well, no,
Would
well,
you say
today
it's a
it looks
ditch?
like a ditch.
Today it's a ditch.
Today it looks like a ditch, it's easy to see.
But it's a large ditch.
It's a big ditch.
I mean, yes, it's
Yeah.
not, I mean, it's
No,
more like a,
'cause there's flow, there's.
And it's
just-
all roughed up and there's
Right.
rocks and
Yeah, I've
crap all
seen
over
it.
the place,
Mhm.
so.
Well, with the ditch, it means there's an edge someplace on
yeah.
both sides,
Yeah.
right?
It's worth, yeah, it's a quick walk, go and see.
Yeah.
But I think you're right,
Well,
on
wait, are
profile.
you saying that what's there now is existing and
So-
will not change? I
No,
don't
no,
think
no.
so.
So there's
So, I
a
mean, that's
ditch.
existing, but
Yeah,
there's, but
there's
it's it will
changes.
change, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure,
Right.
because it's small now, I mean, it's only like this, right?
So right now, the pipe actually discharges up here.
Okay,
here,
yeah,
yeah.
okay, so it's even, the
It's
ditch
a,
is
there's a
really
big
up
hole
here.
right here.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
And this, see this line?
Yeah.
Is the water course
Yeah.
that Jim, which is the
Mhm.
ditch that
Right.
comes down to get down to the wetlands.
yeah.
Mhm.
So we're extending the pipe
Mhm.
to, a head wall
Mhm.
with a large riprap pad
Mhm.
so that it dissipates through here,
Slows it
cleans
down
it,
a lot,
slows it
yeah.
down. This is lawn
Mhm.
and plantings, and I
Right.
believe Abigail, I don't think I brought it, but Abigail had planted this.
Mhm.
This is kind of like a bowl almost,
Yeah,
so this
yeah.
slopes down.
Right.
This slopes down and it comes and flows. The driveway's up higher, the pipe is down
Yeah,
lower.
yeah, got
It
it now.
flows underneath the driveway through the pipe, and then it
Mhm.
continues into this forebay where now it will really slow down because it's gonna settle and sit in here, and this fills up, and then it overflows through a long, linear, very flat swale that goes down to the wetlands.
So do we have buried in all this paperwork some description of the impact on this little water course? Is someone defining that this is now gonna change because it's gonna go there? Is that documented?
I believe we did all that when.
I'm just, okay, that's,
I have-
that's what I wanna go look at, and does that, whatever this is, how does that change this? Cause this, does it
Yeah,
change
because it
it?
seems to me like, I mean, I think that's a point well taken,
Yeah.
Sharon, that it's no longer gonna go here,
Right.
right?
Well,
Or-
it's still getting
Yes,
to the
but it's-
wetland.
But this,
going
being
on.
yeah, you
rerouted.
got it being rerouted,
Yeah,
right,
I
to
see.
it was started 276, it's gonna hit 272, I assume it's gonna go that way.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
I mean, that's what we're supposed, I mean, I think that's what you've designed, for it to
Right.
now go this way in through the pipe and then out here, rather
It's
than
just
coming here.
going this way
Yeah,
instead of this way, it's taking a little
yeah.
bend.
Now,
I
And
hate
that's
to be a
described
pest.
someplace, that's
I,
documented.
Could
assuming
that
that there's
area ever
something-
be flooded?
because,
Well, I'm gonna look for it, just, cause that's what I wanna be sure of, it's documented
You
someplace.
say this road is higher than the pipe, obviously,
Mhm.
quite a bit. Is that because you're filling for the road, or you're digging,
we are,
or a little of both?
I think it's a little of both, Michael. This is a
Where's
280.
existing? There's-
There's 1 footers, so
Okay.
78,
Mhm.
76, we're filling in here.
So if you're filling
They're gonna-
here,
We have retaining walls, so this
yeah,
wall,
I was gonna ask, that's my question, how do you keep
the wall,
the wall?
which we did have that
That was-
previously.
Yeah, I remember something about it.
Is the wall on the plan we just approved?
Yep.
Okay.
So the wall just, instead of going across, the
I thought-
wall went up, so it made an L shape.
Okay.
and now you're extending the wall into
this
the
way
next property.
and this way, so because like I said, the only difference between the plan that was approved and this plan is before this was grass, so it just went
Right, it was grass.
And now you have pavement, so it's just gonna go through the pipe, go back in the grass. This
Mhm.
little section, which is 37 feet, it'll go through a pipe.
And you feel the pipe can handle anything
She's
that?
made it oversized, yeah.
Yes, I'm
Mhm.
100% confident that that pipe,
Okay, that's sort of the key, I think.
So this is the parking we drive, we talked about.
yeah. This is just for the truck, another truck.
Oh, so this is another
Mm-hmm,
sort of dead-end
yes.
truck loading thing.
Correct, yep. Which I have that, it was on that other plan.
Okay. All right, I personally, I wanna go refresh my memory on this. I wanna stare at this a little bit, so I'm not prepared to approve it tonight, but I
Yeah,
know.
I mean, and honestly,
Yeah.
in my view, yeah, it's only, you're just gonna reroute it for 37 feet or whatever it is, but the fact is that when you put a pipe as opposed to an overland dissipation, you get a pipe that's it's once again concentrating the water, which is gonna make it, its velocity, quicker.
Right,
So, you're losing 37 feet of not just, I mean, it's like, it's.
of of
slowing
sheet
it
flow,
down,
we're
right?
losing 37 feet of sheet
Yeah.
flow to 37 feet of,
Concentrated flow. So it's- in
concentrated
other words,
flow.
What the effect is to speed the water up again, that you've just
Right.
taken trouble to slow down where the riprap is up there.
Right, but, so it's going to, because once it gets through here, it's gonna, the speed is definitely has decreased, because you're trickling
Sure,
through
sure.
the riprap, through the grass, and it will, because you have a pipe, which
Right.
it's relatively flat, it's at 5%. And again, it's gonna get caught right, as soon as it comes out, it's going right back into like a forebay.
Yeah.
So it's completely slowed down and come to, almost going to a halt
Sure, yeah, I see what you're
out
saying.
of that
Right,
pipe.
Right. And what kind of soils, do we know what kind of soils are in that forebay, as you call it, or is that
Here.
is that going to be like assisted in any way with rocks, or, I mean, or is the soil there in that forebay already permeable enough, like it's not, I'm assuming it's only determined that it's not poorly drained, or very poorly drained, it's a permeable soil, right?
Right.
That's
We
what I
did-
yeah.
We did testing
Yeah.
out there for this,
Yeah.
because we have infiltration, and
right.
I did testing all over this property.
I mean, I have been on the site, and that of all the considerations on the plan, when I went out with
Cynthia?
Cynthia Rabinowitz, I mean, she almost dismissed, walking out to that side, because she had no concerns there. In other words, the soils are permeable, and the.
Hard to tell, no, they've been bulldozed.
Not all the way down to the river, certainly.
No, not down to the river, no,
I'm
but in
talking
this
about-
area,
no,
it's
no,
all
yeah.
been,
Yeah, no, but I mean, generally
Rubbed?
speaking,
Is that the word?
that side of the property is,
thank you.
it's much higher, and it's, it's not, obviously not of a concern as the other area is. So, I think you would, benefit from reviewing the.
I'm gonna stare at it,
Yeah.
I wanna confirm this.
Yes.
And I appreciate everything you said, we're gonna think about this a little bit, whether, make sure that's,
You don't seem concerned about it, though, particularly.
Well, honestly, I think that any of these cases, first of all, you have to realize that we are all laymen. We here on the I'm not on the commission, but you three are laymen. All I know is basically what Michael knows, because Michael took the course online, and my experience in the field, which is not tremendous. I'm not a scientist or anything.
we're not,
other
we're
than
not
like it.
engineers, no one's.
So we have to rely, on any engineers, professionals that are present, and in this case, it happens to be, oddly enough, the applicant's engineer. So we take what Michelle, in this case, Michelle says, because she's the professional, she knows her stuff. Having said that, all we can do is try to ask questions, elicit responses from Michelle that may, that you know, she may have difficulty explaining to us as laymen because perhaps the answer is not, you know, robust enough that we can accept.
You know, Sharon, we could do an open bottom, if that makes you, or we could do a natural bottom on the pipe.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what I'm kind of thinking,
Because it's something
know.
similar that we did on Gray's
Right,
Bridge.
right, a
where,
natural, right.
You know, because you just sink the pipe, so instead of doing a 4-foot pipe, I do a 5-foot pipe, and you sink it a foot into the ground, and you have a natural, it creates a natural bottom, so that slows it down.
And that slows it down,
Because you're not, you
that slows
don't
it down,
have,
right.
you know, the smooth pipe, you have natural earth
Right.
in there.
Okay.
You know,
That would be good.
Yeah, that, you know, that's fine. Again, it's not like, I mean, this is not wetland soils, you know, so our concern here is it slowing it down so that it's not messing this up?
Right.
Which I'm sure you're right, so whether it be open bottom or whatever, I said, I just want to refresh myself on this little pink line. That's what I'm really interested
Yeah,
in.
you know, and
Because
I
I'm
said-
not a stormwater, it's not in the upland, it may be in the upland review
It's in
area,
the
but it's a
upland review area.
stormwater matter, not directly into wetlands. So for
Right.
me, you know, open bottom, 4 feet, 7 feet, I'm not too worried about that from a wetlands perspective. I mostly want to refresh my memory on this little guy.
Yeah, like I said, this was, you know,
Yeah.
this was Eric's review of it.
That's what I just want to
Eric, I'm
reread.
sorry for that.
I'm sure I can find
I
it.
just don't know who Eric is. Who's been
So
calling me.
he's-
Eric is what?
Eric Davidson, he is a registered soil scientist
Right.
and he's a biologist.
Right, so,
And he did what was a third party review or what?
He
was
did a
it?
third
He-
party review for the
yeah.
town,
Right.
and he reviewed the, so we had Jody Chase who did a,
biology
she did a
inventory.
biology report. I think I submitted all that.
Yeah, I know you did,
information
yeah, but it was like the last
to- Yeah.
year.
Well, no, I resubmitted all that stuff with this application,
Yeah.
just so she.
I spent all of my time on 701. I
I
spent
know.
very little time on
That's all
731.
right. So Jody Chase did a wetland assessment report,
Yeah.
and we also hired Elizabeth Corrigan, I think that's her name. She did the biology assessment for the site. Eric, on behalf of the commission,
Right.
reviewed those documents, and Jim McManus did the flag,
Right.
the wetlands. So
Okay.
he reviewed those 3
Yep.
reports,
Right.
basically. And then Steve Trinkus was also hired on behalf of
Right.
the commission to review the stormwater, which, because I had the stormwater way different, and he.
We changed it around a little
he,
bit.
you know, changed it around, which is fine. Hopefully it works great.
Better.
Yeah, well, it should.
Yeah.
It
So-
was a very thorough review for this.
Yeah, and everybody, I said, everybody tried to do the right thing. Everybody who was involved, right?
Yeah.
And you and Tony, everybody tried to do the right thing, because it's a very sensitive area, right,
Right.
on the river, so.
And, you know, we're trying, because we're gonna be putting a light at this intersection. It's
Oh, yeah.
dangerous to have, you know, the sight line is too close to have the 2 driveways.
Yeah.
It just makes practical sense
Right.
to come out to the main entrance. And like I said, we didn't shift this line from what was approved. This line
Yeah.
stayed exactly where it was.
Okay. I'm sure you're right.
So it was this, basically, can I write on this?
Yeah.
This did not change.
Yeah, I
This
said, and I just
boundary.
don't, I just am completely drawing a blank about what Jim and
Yeah, yeah,
Davidson
that's
said about that water course. And I said, I didn't get a chance to review it, and I'm gonna get a chance to review it. And for me, that's my only concern. That's with size of the pipe. For me, it's not a wetlands, it's not an upland review, I don't care. You decide. I'm not worried about that at all. I just wanna refresh my memory on this bad boy.
Yeah, no, of
Okay.
course.
Your copy?
Yeah.
Because we have one.
Yeah, like I said, I submitted
Yeah.
her report.
Yep.
I know there was some supplemental information. I don't have all the supplemental
Yeah,
stuff
let's
that
do it.
Julie did, so, but I at least gave you the
Yeah.
original document.
Okay.
Like I said, I went through my folder.
I would think it's,
Cause I was also, cause Eric had, about, we had talked to him about 701, the natural diversity. I read his report and then he came up, and he said the same information. It was like a floodplain, you know, cause on the, you see that, there, that rock outcrop, that is where the endangered flora
Flora is, right,
Because that gets sun, everything else is in the shade, or
Yeah.
was in the shade,
right,
and had no chance of,
flourishing,
yes.
okay. All right,
Alright,
we'll
guys.
see you later.
You're not gonna see me at the next meeting.
Well, no, you'll get another project, we'll see you again.
Well, I'll be on vacation.
Yeah,
so
but we'll
it's
see you
like,
in the next project.
yeah.
What?
You need to make a motion.
No, we need to make a motion, yeah, no, I'm just telling Michelle, we'll see her later,
Right.
so yeah.
Right.
So I'd like to make a motion then to continue 7:31, activity number W-22-18 to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
I'll second.
Michael seconds, any discussion on the motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys.
Oh, thank
We'll see you
you.
later.
Sorry for the late
Thanks for
night.
your work on this.
Ah.
I try.
Enjoy
All
your
righty,
vacation.
Thank
it
you.
is.
Are you coming back with a different last name, or you're gonna hang on to it?
I want to hang on to my last
Alright.
name.
Oh, is this more than just a vacation?
I'm getting married.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. I
This
didn't
is gonna
know
be a
that.
honeymoon.
This is
Congratulations.
my honeymoon I'm going on.
Ah,
I wouldn't,
Get to go on my first honeymoon.
incidentally, I wouldn't cross the border into Haiti. They
Okay.
have some problems there.
All right,
No, we're staying
all right.
On the east side of the island.
All right, it is late.
care.
We'll see you later.
I'll see you in.
We'll see you later.
Thank you.
All right, I had wanted to add we had talked in our last meeting, that we were, I think, coming to a consensus on riparian buffers, and, Rochelle has made a suggestion on another regulation change. However, it is now 9:30.
I would,
So, I think we're not gonna add, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
suggest that we add
Yes.
it. You've got that.
Yep.
We can start to mull it over, and we will ask Christine to put on the agenda for new business, proposed draft updates to the wetlands regulations as a new business agenda item for next week, our next meeting. All right, so with that, tabled items, we don't have any correspondence, none, review of the previous minutes.
I did, and I saw no problems, so I'll make a motion that
Wait,
we-
hold on one sec.
Okay.
Just one
Did you
sec.
have something?
You know, the right people here? Where's the front top page of this bad boy?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted for the April 25th meeting.
Dave seconds?
Why not?
Yep.
Okay,
All right, Dave seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. And I think, again, informal discussion.
Madam Chair, I have an item of informal discussion.
Yes.
Actually, it's rather formal, but, so just to stick this in here. I also need to make an announcement that, and I'll just send everyone an email, but I'm actually going to be away on unpaid leave from the afternoon of May 17th all the way through June 1st.
Okay.
So that's a 15-day period that I
Okay.
will not be in the office. I will be reachable by text, email, and cell phone, all of that stuff.
Okay, so we have Fran still as a duly authorized.
He's not actually, to my knowledge, he never did take that test, so he did not take the course, I believe that the commission approved him as
We did.
but I don't think he's done the course, in which case he can't be an approved duly authorized.
Okay, I guess we didn't know that.
I don't have
think-
his certificate, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think he ever finished the course.
Okay,
But that's, I mean, you don't, it's 2 weeks, I'm not here, if-
Okay,
if-
well-
If, in the worst case scenario, you call Cynthia Rabinowitz, who can always, pinch it.
right, or if Fran hears about something, I mean, he can
Oh,
always
yeah.
call Michael
He can
or
certainly
I as
investigate. Yes,
officers. So,
absolutely.
because we can act, I think we can act on the behalf of the commission. I don't know if we should duly authorize Michael and myself, and Bob, as officers to be interim wetlands enforcement.
What did you do when Alice never took a vacation?
She did, but it wasn't, I don't think it was
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. I mean, we can make that motion today. We could make a,
Well, that's an awful lot
Yeah.
of people to authorize. I think it's the overkill. I
okay.
mean, you're.
Well, all right, well then we'll just leave it then. If Fran hears anything, he can call me,
Yeah.
okay? And we'll
Mhm.
figure out the right
Do
we'll
you-
figure out
do
the
you,
right
uh,
strategy.
Do you feel we can carry on without
Oh, yes, in fact.
anybody?
Yeah.
We'll survive.
We'll,
Yes,
well,
absolutely.
we
There's
hope,
no
we,
need for
we
me.
hope everybody does, and the town does what they need to do so that we don't require
I mean, if you
anything.
think you can't get by without me, there's a serious problem here. I mean, it's like-
Yes.
Well,
We'll miss you, but
Well,
we'll
that's very
survive.
kind of you, but, no, but but I'm only, that means I'm gonna miss one, I think precisely
Mhm.
one.
Yeah,
meeting,
okay.
Right, so,
all right, well, thank you for letting us know.
yes.
You're talking about only one meeting?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, then that is.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about,
I think Sharon was worried if there was an
if there was,
incident of a
if there's
blowout
an
of a-
incident,
an
yeah, that's what I'm more worried about is an incident.
Well, we can
so-
always continue
No,
something.
an emergency situation in the
Emergency
field.
situation in the
If we
field.
have a heavy rainstorm and someone is now has water pouring into the wetlands,
Right,
that's an issue that needs to be
right,
ceased
addressed
and desist.
immediately, if not sooner.
So, yeah, I think you do have Fran authorized, right?
Yeah,
now
we have
to
Fran
act?
authorized, that he can call me,
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
okay.
All right.
We are coming up on the fourth anniversary of the microburst too.
Ugh, ugh,
Are we
ugh.
ready for a motion?
Yes, we are.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second on that?
I'll second that.
Dave seconds that, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.
Turn off your
Turn
microphones,
off the
ladies and
microphones.
gentlemen.
Um,
You can turn this off?
You're the first person I've ever met with the name Rochelle, but I found out there's someone else very famous with that name.
is there,
Do you know who Regine was?
no,
She was a very interesting person, a very famous person back